Shane Stoffer, aka Togi.
I went 2 years of posting content to try and make people happy. You need more haters.
Does he take responsibility for the followers he influences regardless if it's their decision?
I think everyone should. Before I ever took steroids, my idea towards it was like, it's gonna stop working, heart attack, die at 30, all this shit, but bigger muscles. Don't be making your decisions because of somebody else. If you're taking steroids and ripping cocaine, because I do.
Has anyone ever told you, like, you influenced them to take steroids?
I get a lot of comments that are like, I want to see him die. I get my blood work done every month. Let's just take 3 grams a year. When your hormones are f***ed, you're losing it, or you want to cry on a couch for no reason.
What changed in your life since you started here? Before starting this podcast, I just wanted to say that ideating steroids for a full show is not widely accepted because it discounts the real work, which is the backbone of this sport. And unfortunately spreads that an unsafe chemical solution is all you need for results. Both of these are antithetical to society's understanding of the sport. And while there will always be some that claim that PEDs are all you need, I would like to deliver an honest message of what is required for achieving top performance, as well as the dangers associated with this route. I received this comment from a user named Nightscarens. But just as a rock climber, the athletes undergoing this path in the sport are willing to put their life on the line for their passion. Just the danger between the two sports is different. Luckily, we do have safety nets in the sport, such as organ imaging and regular blood work. But that doesn't change the high risk one must accept in taking on this competitive lifestyle. What were we saying? What did you ask just now? Dr. Mike or something?
Oh, no, but it's a fine line. You know, once you stop caring what other people think, it's a fine line between, like, getting fully canceled by the algorithm, and like, if you go too far in what you say, then you know you get canceled fast. So
except it's clear that you don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. And
bring that shit closer to you.
Here we go. Here, yeah. How close is?
That's close.
That's
like
good.
You want to kiss it, like you're gonna fucking.
I want to kiss it. Ooh.
Yeah, you're gonna put some Togi on it.
Mike's getting the Togi today. Yeah, I don't care to. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to wear these too.
No, you don't have to. You can if you want to. I know. It sounds kind of sick, but I feel like Joe Rogan.
Good.
Asian Rogan. Tren Rogan. Joe Trengan. Anyways, you're saying fine line. Something about.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm flying too close to the sun with what I say, but that was a big thing when I first started. Like, on social media, I was just like, I cannot put on an act. The whole time, no matter what, I have to kind of stay true to myself, because it's just not sustainable there's some people that have put out content, you know, and like, a good example is like Tren, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He had this character, and then he decided that's not who he wanted to be anymore, and now he's like having a hard time putting out content just because it's not like his true self. So I try my hardest to stay true to myself, even if I get canceled. You know, the influencing thing is like a cool experiment, but I'm not necessarily committed to it as a career. It's just like a side quest to a degree.
Yeah, because otherwise you can just fucking gamble anyways. Exactly.
I can gamble. There's other better ways to make money. I don't know about better. Yeah, better. Let's say gambling better. It's easier.
Anyways, regardless, it seems like people will either fucking hate you or they fucking love you.
And that's the balance you need. As far as going viral, like I went 2 years of posting content to try and make people happy, whatever, and no success. But to really, in my experience, after I started like studying going viral and capturing an audience, almost every single influencer, we'll take Jake Paul as a good example, you need more haters than you do supporters. You need enough supporters to where you get likes and good engagement, but in my opinion, you need more haters, or at least 50-50 haters to supporters to really hit the algorithm hard and hit it fast. There's outliers, like I said, Sam Sulek somehow hit it really fast with not a single hater, but everyone else Andrew Tate hit it fast, and he had way more haters than he did supporters. So that's just the nature of how the algorithm works.
I think Sam Sulek hit it hard because he's like fucking 21-year-old Larry Wheels. He's just crazy strong and huge. Yeah,
well, he has a nice mix of the Larry Wheels freak look. Nobody's freakier than Sulek, but he also has that weird Rich Piana vibe, where his clips, the way he phrases things, are so relatable, and his laugh, his weird chuckle and shit. So
he just sounds like a dad, dude.
Exactly, and people just, dude, it hit the algorithm so fucking hard. So yeah, Sulik is something special, no doubt.
Everyone says it's like, oh, it's because he's like fucking, because he's like just a real guy. I'm like, no, everybody can be a real guy, dude. I mean, maybe not, but like most people can be real guys. He's fucking strong as shit.
Yeah,
like the dude's special.
Nobody incline benches 315 like that.
No.
I think I saw a video of him
fucking just like throws. Like what
butter.
did he throw 405 or something?
Yeah, you see that video where he's like, oh, he went to failure, and he just like throws it off of him. It's like, holy fuck, this guy is a freak of nature.
Yeah, I think back in my day when I was like popping off first and Instagram and TikTok too, I think most of the things that popped me off was also just like not giving a fuck and doing the most obscene things back in the day, which is why I'm trying to learn from it. I'm trying to grow up. That's what I try to do in this podcast. I'm trying to fucking grow up, you know,
spread some wisdom,
hopefully have a little bit new values and a little bit change values over time. But back in the day though, like, what was it? I would take shots. Like I would do these motivational workout videos on TikTok and Instagram, and I would take like a dry scoop of pre-workout before every fucking thing, and just close up of dry scoop of pre-workout before every single fucking workout. And then I started having like these haters saying like, there's these TikTokers that are fucking promoting dry scooping, and you're gonna get fucking bronchitis and all this shit. And I'm just like,
it's like, okay, well, people find any reason. Scooping isn't fucking harmful whatsoever, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe you can get bronchitis. I didn't know this, but people find a reason to get mad about anything and always. They're so worried about. Everyone's always so worried. Did you see recently? You know who Jack Doherty is? Like that short little kid that like a super rich YouTuber. Like
I've heard of his last name.
I know. Either way, he's under a lot of heat right now because he said the N-word. Which again, I'm not like condoning saying racial slurs and shit, but people are so upset with him, canceling him. And it's just like there's so many more things to be concerned about in this world than a kid saying a word. And I think it's just because he's doing well for himself. People sit there, watch, and want to find any reason to bring him down to, you know, his level. Because when I know a lot of people get jealous, they see somebody doing more than them, and rather than, you know, bettering themselves, they want to find a way to bring somebody down to their level. So it's like, yeah, he's my equal. A lot of people say that about Shizzy. Like, Shizzy's so cringe. Shizzy's so cringe, could never be me. And it's just like, there's no, come on now. You know what I mean?
Do you think Shizzy's cringe? What's cringe?
Not at all. I don't think Shizzy's cringe at all. I think it's great that he's doing whatever. I think it's great that he doesn't give a fuck. But a lot of people say like Shizzy's cringe. A lot of people say, when I used to do the workout edits, people would say that shit's cringe. Yeah. And it's just like, I'm doing my own thing. I like what I like. I don't know why you're so concerned about it.
Right. I think Shizzy's pretty cringe as fuck.
You don't like it?
Annoying. I hate that guy. Have you ever
met him?
No, he's my boy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just fucking around. No, he's a really he's a down to earth dude for sure.
Yeah.
I think people will always just say that about anyone that's trying to post cool fitness content though, because I got the shit back in the day too. Like whenever I was posting the workout videos, montages, like I think the reason I like blew up in the first place, because right when TikTok came out, it was like at the time like 2019 or before then or something, where it was just like anime TikToks and they would like do the emotes or something with their faces and shit. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
No
idea. Like cosplay TikToks.
This is
and like
way before you're talking about when I was like 14 years old. Like that's way
crazy.
Before my era.
Oh shit. But yeah, like there was just, I don't know, it was like it felt like the outcast community or something that was like on TikTok at first. So one of my friends, Brooklyn, was just posting workouts and she was like, you should post workouts, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And I'll just post it my way, because I liked those YouTube workout montages, but no one's doing that. So I'm going to create it for TikTok. So I started doing like workout music montages on TikTok, and then that shit popped off. And I think that was before like fitness was really common on TikTok. And then nowadays, like, it's everywhere on TikTok. That's like basically what fitness TikTok is. Is literally like music montages of working out and shit, unless you're like TNFO and you're like ranting on somebody. But
what do you think about TNF?
I don't know. I don't really have any opinion. He's informative, but his his attitude's a little off-putting sometimes.
I think TNF is cool. I used to, when I was first trying to go viral, I would poke at him and kind of try and get to him to beef with me. And he would respond to my videos. And at the time I had like 30,000. So I always thought it was like really exciting when he would duet one of my videos, because it was great engagement, getting traction on my page. But I definitely expressed a large disliking towards him, in which I don't necessarily feel anymore. But I do think to a degree he is a little bit of a melon, a little bit just like the community he has created is sometimes, like, to me, a little toxic, very judgmental of the whole world. But other than that, TNF is a smart guy. I think he's got a great physique, and it feels
a little bit like male Karen vibes.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's like male Karen, but very intelligent.
But yeah, super intelligent, super informative, a lot of good information for people, and I think that's the most important part. So if you're watching this, bro, a little bit Karen, but
little melon, little Karen, but we love TNF.
But I think anyone's gonna call anyone that's trying to do something that they find or see as like an enemy, or like, you know, when you see it, you walk into the gym, like say that you're trend out or something, and then there's another fucking big ass jack dude there who's like maybe trying to talk to a bunch of chicks or something like that, and I feel like it's natural to just be on the inside like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
oh yeah,
the fuck is this dude or whatever. And
well, that's just like the masculine urge to compete, be the best.
Exactly. And then later on, you guys are like fucking bros and like close boys.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's basically what those comments on TikTok is more often than not. People like calling you cringe and all this shit. And little do they know that they might even be homies with you in life, but maybe they just have some fucking self-esteem issues or something.
Yeah, sometimes I think I assume everyone that hates on my video is like some like fucking tiny loser, but I'm sure a lot of them are decent people that I just need. A guy, Lucas Pachter, when he gets a hate comment, what he does is he DMs them back and with like a kind message, and almost always they kind of flip and it's like, yeah, I've been going through something, this and that, and so I apologize. So maybe I should be nicer to my haters, because have you seen the videos? I will respond to a hate comment by, I don't say any words, I just post a picture of them looking like really stupid, and it's like kind of like exposing them to the internet.
You picture post like a screenshot of what they say?
Yeah, like somebody will say some dumb shit and I'll just like take a screenshot of it and then like put it, and then I'm doing my,
I've thought about doing that all the time,
and it's just like, yeah, all right, bro, keep talking, and it's like a fucking 200 or 100-pound redhead ugly kid. But you know, maybe I should be nicer, because I'm sure they're cool people.
Yeah. No, I get that. I feel like every time I see that shit, I want to screenshot and post it. But I'm trying my best not to be toxic either. I'm trying just not to give a fuck about comments most of the time. But
yeah, I don't usually. I love it. I've never let it get to me, but I do like being a little bit toxic. I'm not gonna go out of my way and like start some shit with somebody, but like if you jab at me first, I'm gonna stand my ground, no doubt.
Anyways, honestly, I was like shocked as fuck when you told me that you had some of your audience telling you to come on this podcast, because I think I recognize your name. To be honest, I haven't seen your content before you contacted me, but I definitely saw the name Togi before, for sure. And I wasn't sure if I was just like making connection to the anime or something, and then like I realized like that you've been popping randomly on my explore page on YouTube and shit. Yeah. And so watch some of your videos, and then immediately I was like, oh fuck, dude, I've had like a bunch of podcasts where I talked about how like these days there's a bunch of these kids who are glorifying steroids on TikTok, and now it's causing a bunch of kids to want to take steroids. And I was like, I created this podcast because I want to try to be informative, and hopefully these kids don't all just jump on steroids without realizing that they're gonna fucking wreck themselves, and if they're not doing something at least smart. So I have a feeling, like, I don't know why they asked you to, but I had this feeling. I was like, holy shit, like maybe they just want to hear us argue, and then maybe this is the podcast to just be the one episode that somehow ends my career. But fuck it for the plot.
Opposite of you, I'm on not necessarily a mission, but there's not enough, in my opinion, not enough information out there about how much steroids can do for you, because there's a million things out there talking about what it can do. But I feel like everybody knows steroids are bad for you, at least as far as I'm concerned. Before I ever took steroids, my idea towards it was like, dick's gonna stop working, heart attack, die at 30, all this shit, but bigger muscles. But really, there's for me at least, and I'm new to it, but I've done enough research to kind of have an idea of what I'm doing, and it's benefited my life in many ways more than the muscles. I've said this online before, but if steroids didn't make me more jacked, I would still take them, just because of how it affects me mentally. Makes everything much more intense, much more driven. And I've heard that if you're not in a great place already, it's going to make things worse. So like how you are already, it amplifies it, is what I've heard. But as far as what I post on the internet, a lot of people say I'm glorifying steroids, but that's how I genuinely glorifying steroids, as in, you know, making something seem like it's amazing when it doesn't deserve that title. But I think testosterone, maybe not all steroids, but injectable testosterone,
fucking sick,
I think
dude,
is the nectar of this planet, and more people should get testosterone. Needs more recognition. For some reason, we have MK677, Rad140 getting all this recognition. Testosterone will change, in my opinion, 90% of men's lives for the better, and it just doesn't get that rap. It gets the rap that it's going to make you die at 30.
Yeah, well, because people like to generalize if they're not very informed or if they're a little ignorant. So they're going to make the assumption that steroids are TRT or testosterone, of course. And they're like, oh, it's going to make you die at 30. Or, oh, you're going on a medication, so it's going to give you potential side effects later down the road, which is possible for some people. But dude, honestly, the quality and like of side effects seen from people taking TRT for a long time down the road is not nearly, in my opinion, of substantial value compared to just fucking being on testosterone, enough testosterone, how that makes you feel for the rest of your life every single day. Like, it feels amazing. So like, I'm not trying to push TRT either, test and stuff, but like, fact of the matter is our test levels are going down. If you feel like dog shit, then you should, and it's because of your test, then you should probably do something about it. You should probably go on some HCG protocol or something, and if it's not working, then just jump on TRT. So
yeah, a ton of people, I get a ton of comments,
and HCG though, for your fertility,
criticizing my lifestyle. And to be fair, I do participate in a lot of unhealthy things, but I know what I'm doing. And you know, time is very precious. Your existence, your reality is 100% in your hands, and a lot of people never get to live at all. I would rather, you know, live until, take some years off of my life if I get to live the life that I've dreamt of, because really you can live your exact reality that you picture and dream, but a lot of people are held back because of this or that, somebody else's opinions. And there's a popular quote, and it's, you have 2 lives. The second one starts once you realize you only have one. And that really it means a lot to me. Once you realize that this is your one shot at this, and you can't live the life that you want to live without taking the risks that you have to take in order to, you know, taking testosterone being one of them. That's what I am, in my opinion, I would want to take off the X amount of years of my life so I can live the perfect reality. And so far, I've been living such a beautiful existence that if I died tomorrow, I would be more content than if I lived 90 years and, you know, didn't do shit.
Real quick, guys. So while I was looking at the YouTube analytics, I actually saw that 85% of you guys that watch this channel are not subscribed. And I want to ask very little of you guys, but if you enjoy this podcast, if you find value in it, then please do me this one favor and subscribe to the channel, because doing so helps me get bigger and greater guests like the guests you are listening to today. Also, this channel is not sponsored, which means only the companies that I work with, which are Young LA and Huge Supplements, are the companies that can help fund this channel by you guys using the code NILE. So code NILE gives you a discount of 15% off of Young LA, and code NILE also gives you a discount of 10% off of Huge Supplements. And if you decide to purchase anything from any of these companies, it will help immensely for me by using my code. And this way, I can travel to other guests, such as Dr. Mike Israetel next week, and also upgrade in equipment to make this podcast bigger and better for you guys.
I think the one thing that people keep complaining about, especially with because just being straight up, your content is like super fucking controversial, like so fucking controversial, bro. And people have to talk about it a lot. And I think it just, my personal opinion is, yeah, I do think that it's a hard line to draw, trying not to entice like younger kids to take gear because it's sick or you look sick, even though sometimes it does feel that way. But at the same time, I think it just, every person is so different and everyone's value is so different, right? Everyone has completely different values. And if you want to do that for yourself, like, right, everyone says your decision, right? Well, if that's something that you find value in, then I mean, who am I to fucking stop you? Because one of the things I do stand by is like, I had extremely controlling parents, like extremely controlling Asian parents. Fucking sick that you're also half Asian, by the way. I'm glad that we're such great representatives.
Yeah.
But dude, it's just like, if your parents are going to tell you like no sex before marriage ever, or you're fucking banned from the family, or you don't ever talk to us again, or no alcohol ever, like this, like we're substance, if you do it, then you're fucking ostracized from our family or some shit like that, whatever. Like, you're probably going to sneak out and do it and not tell them, right?
100%. And these are real things. I post videos that, like, I talk about, I do cocaine, I talk about, I show videos. I used to, I don't make the edits anymore. I make edits of me taking steroids, but this is the real world. I don't know if we're supposed to pretend like it doesn't exist to, all the kids on the internet. But if you have nothing but people, like, of course you're a good influence and educating people, but if there's only TNFs in the world telling people, TNF is a good example because he really pushes, like, you're a fucking, don't take steroids no matter what. People are gonna want to do it. And another thing I do is, what I say is, are you not entertained? Like, I'm an entertainer. What are the content I put out? I think the edits I put out are very entertaining. The stuff I talk about is entertaining. My lifestyle is entertaining. Are you not educated? I'm saying, are you not entertained? Whether you like the content or not, people are entertained. So that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah. TNF, he definitely does set a good example, at least, because he talks about like what's healthy and I think what could happen to you. I think the informative part of it is something that I do support, because that's what I try to do with the podcast. I'm like, you can make whatever decision you want, but at least like listen and be informed. So that way you're like, if you fucking like you're talking about in one of your videos, if you take MK and suddenly you have diabetes, don't refer back to this video.
I did say that. Okay, is that a fucking thing? I've never heard of somebody getting
I just don't think it's been around long enough.
Okay, that's fair.
So I don't know.
That's the first thing. Every time somebody brings up MK, it's like, or in my comment section, it's just like, how do I prevent myself from getting diabetes from MK? I've never heard of anybody's ever getting fucking diabetes from that shit. Maybe blood sugar, like becoming a little insulin resistant, but to cross the line of becoming fully fucking diabetic, I don't believe it. Although I'm not super educated on the topic, but I just have never seen it. I don't understand I don't believe that that's a thing.
I think it's just something that people should be conscious of, but I don't think it's like, I don't think you're just immediately going to get diabetes if you do MK. But
yeah, but I think that kind of misinformation is almost, if not more harmful than, the stuff that I put out, because MK has a million benefits, much more than the consequences, in my opinion. But now all these people think it gives you diabetes or whatever, so I'm good on that altogether.
People are always gonna fucking over exaggerate either side. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever side they support, they're gonna fucking over exaggerate it.
That's fair. A lot of people also think MK is gonna make you look like you're on Tren,
which is fucking so false. It's so cap, bro. God, I fucking hated looking like a water buffalo in MK.
Yeah, it made you really, really watery.
Yeah, dude, I felt like shit on it. I know, like you saw the MK video, right? That I made. Like I didn't
3 years ago. I saw it though. So.
I didn't have very many benefits from it, but I also wasn't like you, where like I'm not fucking 6'2" like you. I'm 5'8", so I'm a fat ass at heart. I can fucking go to a Chinese buffet and wipe that shit clean. So like I don't need MK, but you definitely do. You know what I mean? If
I've always been skinny. I always need as much food and
you could utilize
water as I can get. I can handle holding water. Like even the cycle I was running. Well, I am currently running. I just dropped the Ment, but it was the wateriest cycle ever. Gram of test, gram EQ, 150 Ment. I'm still kind of watery, but it's not like to the point where I'm like, holy shit, I've got to do something about this.
One of the things I really like though about your content though, that here's the thing is I think a lot of people also have this impression about you. Maybe because they're not like one of their like your committed viewers that watch a YouTube video. But when I like watch your YouTube videos yesterday and earlier today, you fucking talk about a lot of shit you do, like not just like that you take, but for your health. And that was kind of like a huge shocker to me, to be honest. Like when I saw you with a blood pressure monitor, and then you fucking what was it? You had the blood pressure monitor, and then you take telmisartan, you take a Navivolol, you take what else do you take? I'm sure you take a bunch of other ancillaries.
Do baby aspirin, ezetimibe. Honestly,
ezetimibe.
So many that it's like hard to keep track. I just have like my chemical stack, and I just like take it mindlessly every day. But there's like 8 different things I take to stay on my shit.
But like that's probably one of the most important things that people should know if they're taking gear whatsoever is like it sucks that you have to take more medications if you want to take these medications, but that's just how bodybuilding is. Like you gotta like balance things out some way, and you look at the research, and like ezetimibe really has hardly really any negative side effects. So if it's going to help you, then you might as well fucking take something that's going to help your health, right?
Yeah.
But and most kids don't even know what ezetimibe is. They know what Tren is, but they don't know what ezetimibe is.
Well, exactly, because that doesn't go viral. No one gives a shit. Ezetimibe edits or whatever. So yeah, everybody wants to see the exciting shit, the trend, but yeah, nobody really, and that's a lot of people. I have a lot of people clip my content and post it on short form, and that's what mostly people see. Like me personally, I've seen a million Tren twins clips, and I've never watched one of their YouTube videos, so I don't know what they're really like. So people kind of just get an impression based off of the clips they see on the internet. And I say a lot of things about steroids that are sometimes sarcastic, sometimes not, but those are the ones that like do millions of views. Of course, that's when people make an opinion. But that's also the perfect storm, because then I have the people that watch my shit and support me, like my videos, and then I have the people that hate me and leave a comment. And then now I've done, whatever, hundreds of millions of views.
I looked through the Q&A a little bit before we got on this podcast, and I saw there's a bunch of supporters, of course, and there was also the few questions and from the people that hate you, like wanting to ask you like about like your stance on like, do you feel responsible for like these kids and shit like that and stuff. So I mean, I'll ask you it later when we do the Q&A part, but like hopefully at least if they haven't watched your content, then they can listen from this and be like, well, seemingly every time he gets a chance, you talk about shit like your blood pressure. You even fucking did your blood pressure monitor during gambling. That was fucking crazy. Your blood pressure was crazy high, bro. That was insane.
Bro, that was, I think I read like one of these.
That's crazy.
It was like verge of a fucking heart attack. But yeah, I share every inch of my life, and at least a small portion of my life consists of staying alive, so that gets dabbled into the videos here and there.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more relatable to most kids, because most kids aren't going to just stop doing alcohol. At least you still tell them to do cardio. Most kids aren't going to fucking just stop partying and shit,
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, like, if you can like give them everything else that they need to know, because everyone already knows that you shouldn't drink alcohol. Everyone already knows that like you shouldn't like take drugs and then do steroids at the same time or whatever. Everyone already knows that you shouldn't do a lot of these obvious things, but I mean, you're still pressing like, oh, you do your cardio, like take this medication, take that medication. I mean, I don't think there's very much else you could do, but just keep informing. So, I mean,
yeah, I think it's what I preach a lot is like, don't be making your decisions because of somebody else. Like, take part in activities that you enjoy, do things for you. So if you're taking steroids and ripping cocaine, because I do, I mean, that's the exact opposite of what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to do whatever you enjoy. It's your life, it's your existence. That's out of my hands, and I'm not in charge of what I fucking have last month 200 million views. I'm supposed to manage everybody. Like, it's their life. I'm not gonna be bothered by it.
For anyone listening, by the way, though, some of you guys know that I've gone to like raves and festivals in the past like 10 years and stuff. My doctor did tell me not to do any stimulants with my steroids. So if you guys are doing stimulants with your steroids, it might not be totally the best idea.
I know sometimes
we'll talk about
I'm
it later.
Fucking sitting there at like 8 in the morning, just chugging Nabivolol to try and keep my heart. I'm sitting there, like, this is it. You've outdone yourself this time, Togi. The fucking med and cocaine combo is finally caught up to you. But so far, we're good. It's potentially flying a little close to the sun, but I think that's what keeps life exciting. The closer you fly to the sun, for me, it's not for everybody. The more I enjoy my existence.
Fucking sick. Do people ever come up to you and just be like, has anyone ever told you like you influenced them to take steroids, or you haven't, or you influenced them to not take steroids?
Yeah, probably about 5 to 20 DMs a day saying, thank you so much, Togi, you inspired me to take steroids. And I'm just like, dude,
oh god,
what? Like, that was not the intention of what I did there, you know, because I do say some inspirational things unrelated to steroids. Like, in one of my videos, it's like, I call it the Book of Togi, and it's just like random tips that I have for the world. And take steroids is definitely not one of the tips I tell the world. I do say being jacked is a must, so steroids, like, to a degree, goes along with that. But no, a shit ton of kids, not necessarily kids, people, and I'm sure some of them are kids, have hopped on steroids because of me. And to be honest, I don't in the slightest feel guilty or responsible about it. A, because steroids have done nothing but benefit my life. So if you're of the proper age and I inspired you to take steroids, you're welcome. And if you're a kid that got inspired to take steroids, you're a fucking idiot. It's really kind of as clear as that. I've always made it clear, you know, like, if you're a kid, even taking MK is not really gonna be, it's not gonna be beneficial whatsoever. It's gonna fuck your growth, gonna fuck up your whole puberty, everything you got going on. So yeah, I don't feel responsible or guilty about it at all.
Yeah. Have you had people come up to you and tell you that you like inspire them not to take steroids ever?
Yes, I get a lot of comments that are like, I am here to watch Togi because it's either entertaining, interesting, I want to see him die. I get a lot of comments along those lines, but they say, you know, I don't take steroids, but it's entertaining nonetheless, because I do. Yeah. Honestly, at this point, the steroids are, it went from 100% of my content to now really steroids is, I would say, 25% of my content. Mm-hmm. I could stop talking about steroids altogether and I would still have a pretty massive viewership. I believe so, just based off of my ability to entertain, but maybe I need the steroids. It's hard to say. I have not experimented with like stopping talking about it.
Is there a reason why it's 25% now?
Yeah, because I just don't really. Well, okay, so like I said, when I first, this is interesting. When I started taking steroids, and I have the text with my coach to prove it. My coach goes, so why?
I didn't even know you had a coach, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm coached by Tanner Tattered. Are you familiar with him?
No. Is that public information?
Yeah,
Tanner?
everybody knows that. Tanner's my coach. And
did he give you the last cycle?
Huh?
Did he give you that cycle you said that you're doing in your podcast with voices?
He handcrafted everything. He does everything for
Tanner. That shit's a big ass fucking cycle.
But Tanner knows. I told Tanner, I'm like, dude, like, I want to go like kind of fucking hard. Tanner, this is why Tanner's the best coach, is because he'll give me the right information, but he'll let me do whatever I want with it. But either way, so when I first hopped on steroids, I hopped on steroids because I wanted to get famous. I remember that was the goal. He texted me. It was like one of the things in his questionnaire is like, well, why do you want to take steroids? I was like, I want to get famous. And he didn't question like exactly like how the fuck's that going to benefit your brand.
Gotcha.
But I had been studying social media for a few months prior to that because, you know, like I said, I went 2 years straight posting every day, couldn't get any views. I would does this need to be closer to my mouth?
No, you're good.
Every day, posted every day for 2 years, only had 20,000 followers, could hardly crack over 20,000 a video. And I was just like studying social media, like how the fuck can I execute this better? And I came to the conclusion that I needed a topic that has people that fucking hate it, despise it, will absolutely comment about it, and people that are curious about it, and people are like, it's in the dark for them, and it's also a community that's obsessed with it. So that's the trifecta for me. It was what I determined. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take steroids and I'm gonna post videos of me on the internet taking steroids, and it was even better that I'm not like the biggest guy ever. So some people that like casually work out, I have their dream physique, but there's people like the real bodybuilders that see my physique and they're like, this guy looks like complete shit. So it was even better that I had that specific physique for the edits I was making. So that's why, and so I decided the original plan, and I've always had a long-term game plan for social media. The original phase one was just take steroids on the internet, edit it to some cool music, and immediately it went viral. The first video I ever posted, I think it did like a few million views or whatever.
Damn.
So that's I forget exactly what the original question
Did you do it before that kid named David?
Yeah, I was the originator. Well, I remember David texted me. He was like, yo, your shit is... I actually live with him. He's like...
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
He's like, your shit is fucking... like, your shit's lit. Can I make some edits? I'll tag you in it and whatnot. So, like, anybody that... Whenever you see the gear edits, the... people taking steroids and doing a crazy workout edit, that was me. I started... And people hate that.
This is insane. People hate it so much.
People fucking hate that trend, but...
Bro, I hated it.
I mean, I don't blame you. I will say, I think my edits were entertaining, and I think they're honestly, like, Shizzy does great workout edits, but I think my edits were the only ones on the internet that went harder than Shizzy's. But I decided to move on from that content. Well, it was always part of the plan, but yeah, I've completely moved on.
What do you do for TikToks then?
Nothing. I just don't really fuck with TikTok anymore.
Oh, really?
Short form was cool. To go viral, like whenever you want to go viral, it's kind of TikTok, and then maybe you transition to Instagram,
right?
But no, TikTok I just used to repost my Clippers videos.
I got a little advice for you though. Keep going hard with the YouTube, but don't completely stop the TikTok. If you can, keep trying to throw out the TikToks and maintain your platform there, because that shit's important. If you lose that, everybody does, bro. Like over the next 4 or 5 years or so, people start seeing their engagements go down, even if it's just on their YouTube. Then they stop their TikTok. Their TikTok's obviously going to be dead. So
my problem with my TikTok is, it's not a problem. It's just a different strategy, because I used to have an Instagram with like 500,000 followers, and then it got permanently deleted, and I was super frustrated, and my TikTok kept getting strikes, and it was just fucking stressful for me. So I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm just not gonna do this anymore. So now I have people that run TikTok's accounts for me. So I have like 10
Holy shit.
Actually, right now I have about 50 different TikTok accounts, and then about 50 different Instagram accounts. But that's the beauty of it, because at all times, one of them, two of them, or three of them, maybe even five of them at a time are shadow banned.
Yeah.
But then the rest can bang, because the content I post is so, unhinged. I say sometimes like completely blatantly racist things on accident. Oh my God. Streaming is fucking ruthless because there's no editing shit. Sometimes I'll be really shit-faced on Kick and say something that's just horrible. But either way, the point is a lot of things that I say,
be recording it.
Yeah, well, but it's always there. There's always somebody recording it. So the things that I say are and do are so politically incorrect that if I do it on one page, it's I'm gonna get banned. So I just have to spread it out across.
That makes sense.
So I'm still on TikTok, just my main one.
Yeah.
I don't post on anymore.
Backtracking to what you said about you told him that you want to take a fucking big ass cycle because you wanted to get famous. As fucking crazy as that fucking sounds, something that my boy Tony and I were talking about the other day is like, and this is something that I really stand by, because I can't tell someone not to take steroids because it's bad for you. Fucking people preach all this shit about all these drugs and marijuana and all these other things being absolutely fucking terrible for you, including like psychedelics and mushrooms and stuff. But obviously it's not 100% the case. But I think that like, if you're going to like run tons of gear, like you got to get something incredibly valuable out of it. Like you got to get something valuable out of it. And that's why it's like, my stance isn't like you have to compete if you run it. It's just competing is the most simple, obvious form for most people. The first thing that they connect with when they think of getting value from taking gear, competing, winning a show, getting fucking competing in a fucking sport, winning achievements, but like you gotta get some value out of it. Otherwise you might end up being like 10 years back, you're like fucking 35 years old looking back at when you're 25 and being like, damn, I wish I fucking looked like that. Now I look like dog shit. And like if you didn't get anything out of it at all, right?
100%.
And then I think also obviously this is going to vary per person because everyone has totally different values, right? Like totally different values ranging across the entire world. So I mean, if someone's value of their top value is like, say, getting Mr. Olympia, say Chris Bumstead, that's his fucking value for taking gear. That's why he takes gear. Well, there could be another person who's like, maybe my value is like, I don't fucking have a job, but I love creating content and I want to create a fucking big ass platform. And I enjoy this. So if I'm going to at least make a lot of money, so that way I can make a living, and then that way I can create a sustainable living for like my future family or wife or whoever I'm with or something, blah, 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 blah. And then we can live happily ever after or some shit, whatever. If that's how you're going to start it, then who am I to judge? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think even if you don't need to do anything in this life because you want to, in my opinion, is like a good, like if you want to get a fucking tattoo on your face, you don't need to have, or a tattoo anywhere, you don't necessarily need it to, have a super special meaning to you. Although gear does have negative side effects, whereas a tattoo, maybe you won't get some certain jobs. But really, just if you want to experiment with steroids and you don't have a specific reason, just because you think it might improve your life, that's another reason I started taking steroids. It's like, this is a thing that's scary, but I think it might improve my life by a significant percentage. I might as well try it, and if it fucking sucks, I can stop and reap the consequences. But a question I did have for you is, I judge, no, I don't necessarily judge, but it makes me wonder. A lot of people say, oh, why do you take steroids if you're not hopping on stage, this and that? But what exactly do people get out of hopping on stage if you're not one of the greats? There's so many bodybuilders that have died for the sport. Yep. And no one ever knows their name. Right. So what's your stance on that? So, God damn it. I was going to say one thing before I tell you, that I thought was really important.
but the ADD, fucking shit. I also didn't get any sleep last night because I'm on prep right now. I'm like 8 weeks in.
Oh, yeah?
7 weeks in, yeah. So I jumped on this Pharmaceutical anavar, Pharma grade anavar. It's like a troche that melts in my mouth. Crazy thing is like VAR, you barely ever fucking feel it, right? UGL, I barely ever really felt it. But this Pharma VAR, like it kind of like gets my heart racing harder and I feel way more fucking aggressive. So I think it's been kind of fucking up my sleep a little bit. But
that, I believe, bro, but anavar, I always tell people anavar is fucking candy. Not even worth taking. It doesn't do shit for me. Maybe I'm taking fake anavar. Actually, I definitely am not taking fake anavar, but I've never liked it. It's just not done enough for me.
Anyways, don't remember what I was going to say, but as far as the value goes, so it just depends on what like your value is. Like if you find value in like, say like, okay, like you want to like I wanted to compete in tennis and I wanted to be a musician when I was a kid, but my parents at the time were being assholes and they were like, you literally suck at everything, so there's no way it'll even come close. You're not going to get into Juilliard, you're not going to be a pro tennis player, you're wasting your time, you might as well just study to be an engineer and do math because you're worthless. So instead I fucking started bodybuilding and then started taking steroids at the age of like 23. But my value there is like, I find a lot of value in competing, and I don't know if that's because maybe of how I was grown up and my Asian heritage or whatever, but you know, you could fucking trail it back there to childhood, but I find value in competing and getting achievements from working hard. I like that. And like, so the pro card, getting my IFBB pro card was something of super high value to me because I saw that as like, and like, it's kind of lame because it's kind of like almost superficial-ish in a way, because you know, oh, other people think it's like a high status achievement sometimes when you get your pro card. So I guess I care about what other people also think about my achievements. But I like wanted to achieve that because I wanted there to be some kind of substantial evidence of the hard work I put into bodybuilding, and that made me feel good. Other side is like, you could also just take fucking steroids to fuck bitches, get jacked, and get money, and maybe that's your value, right? And like, some people don't quite align values with sorry for calling you guys bitches, but just like sleeping with people and looking really, really big. Like, some people don't find value in that. Yeah. Even though I think looking fucking huge is fucking sick. But I think it just depends on like your values, and everyone is different. So
you're so politically correct. Sorry for calling you guys bitches. I think that's yeah, but getting your pro card is so bad for you. You got to take Tren. Well, you don't have to take Tren or anything, but you have to take a lot of steroids to get to that point. A lot of people don't have the genetics to ever get there, and so it's like, why would you find value in, you know, competing specifically in bodybuilding, right, versus something else? If that's what you're looking for, the competitive drive, it seems like to me like bodybuilding is the one sport that is not worth going hard in comparison to whatever, you know, run a marathon. You're not gonna have to wreck your heart.
It's actually something I was thinking about asking you a while back. I wanted to ask you about your perception on genetics, because here's something that I really, really loved. I had this podcast with this guy named Ziegler Monster.
I love him.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking sick. And he said the coolest thing on my podcast. So I cut it up into a clip. I don't do all my clips, by the way. Some of my editing team does some of the clips, but I do some of my favorite parts. So if you guys hate some of the clips, maybe it's not me. But he said that in bodybuilding, we have to have a certain level of non-delusional logical thinking, that we are putting substances into our bodies that are slowly destroying our organs for a goal that might not exist. Because he's seen 24 guys that he's personally known that have died from steroids at age 30, 40, 50. And these are like guys that, like, for example, are like bouncers at the club, fucking getting spit on, getting talked dirt on, fucking taking gear, trying to be huge and be a big bouncer. And then they try to go compete, but nobody ever knows them because they get like 10th plus place.
Exactly.
Right. And so the most important part is like, all of us who do this, like this bodybuilding shit is fucking scary, man. I mean, that's part of the reason it's sick, to be honest. Like MMA is pretty fucking sick. Is it safe? Fuck no.
Yeah, okay,
but,
fair enough.
But you know, people fucking enjoy bodybuilding for a reason. You know, it's not a non-popular thing. Like, it's fucking like dominating social media. So like, people just who are in it do have to have a certain level of non-delusional logical thinking that they are putting some serious shit into themselves that could fucking seriously harm them in their future, when they might actually have a change of perspective or a mindset, or say that like they actually found, they have made a family, they found a woman that they actually really, really love. They feel different now. They like want to make sure that they build something with them. Then they have a child, and then all of a sudden, surprise, you have cancer. Surprise, you have kidney failure. You didn't know this, but you took steroids like 3 years ago, and now you're reaping the consequences. And I think people just really should be aware of that, because we change a lot. Just like you said, you change a lot in your content. You shifted over from like doing steroid stuff, and now you're doing more like gambling stuff, right? And I'm sure the shift's going to continuously change. I know a lot of other people have done the same. I've done the same. You know, I shifted a fuck ton. Now I have this podcast, and I preach things that are completely different from how I acted 6 years ago. I was going to raves. I was taking fucking G and a bunch of other drugs, and I was also on oral steroids only, like when I was competing. Like, I was doing fucking stupid stuff. But I think if people are just like at least aware of that, then, you know, they can make their own choices.
Yeah, that's I agree with everything you said. I guess I have a prejudice against it just because I get so many comments of people saying, you're an idiot, you're not competing, you have to take steroids to compete. Like, that's the number one. Cap. Whereas, yeah, I've gotten plenty. To me, it's been more than worth it, even though I don't compete. But what you're saying makes a lot of sense coming from your standpoint. I can completely agree with it, but coming from my comments, it's just given me like a sour taste just towards the sport entirely in bodybuilding. But yeah, I can get behind this.
Here's another thing is, like, I'm not trying to give you like a pass card or anything, but like at the same time, these guys who have been taking gear constantly, trying to get like they're finding their value in competing and hopefully someday becoming something big, maybe. But what they're doing is, over the course of like 10 plus years, they're taking these big ass cycles close to what you're taking now, but you've only taken for like what, a few weeks. These guys have been taking for years for a goal that still doesn't exist, and then they die, right? So, and I have a very strong feeling like you're a fucking smart dude. You know what you're doing, to a good extent. And like, you're not like, you're just not going to be one of these guys. Like, I know that I don't see you being someone who's going to keep taking fuck tons of gear for like some fucking goal that doesn't exist. You already hit a great goal in social media, period. So it's just people just need to not be very delusional.
100%. And to be honest, I'm comfortable taking a cycle so massive because I don't know how many cycles I am willing to take. Honestly, fuck being on cycle. It's great growing this fast, but I feel best when I'm on 250 to 500 tests. That's really all I need. Even just cruising on 250, I feel amazing, because like I said, I take fucking 50 vitamins a day now, 8 different research chemicals. I have to pin 1.5 cc's every day. Like, I really cannot stand being on, it's such a pain being on cycle, and then I can't, well, I still do, but I feel it stresses me out a lot more, and it's a lot harder on my body to partake in the things that I do. Like, I do a lot of partying at this phase in my life, so as I'm doing these cycles, it's just becoming more and more. Like, at the start of it, the benefit was huge to take my first cycle. Second cycle was like, okay, that was nice. Third cycle, we'll see. But now it's starting to feel like it's a very diminishing return. So I see myself never taking another cycle after the age of 23. I don't think it's likely that I ever run higher than 500 tests.
Okay, so here's another thing this is an argument I kind of actually want to have with you about dosages. because I think in one of your videos you were like saying that there's a lot of like liars in the industry about their dosing, which is probably true. But you pointed out like some people like Phil Heath when he talked about his like whatever. I don't know if I believe that either, but maybe it's true. It's fucking Phil Heath, dude. He is, and not to be like racist or anything or positively racist, but black people have the sickest physique, so I'm not very surprised. But what I've noticed though is like the most like anabolic thing is not necessarily just steroids, but it's really just, and as weird as it sounds, it's really just doing that stuff in bodybuilding with time. It's time. And I think that's one of the reasons why people are always surprised to hear someone talk about their cycle and be like, what, he only took that much? That's a fucking lie. Like he's got to be taking this much. You don't take, like, if you're taking 5 grams of creatine normally, you don't expect someone who's taking 500 grams of creatine to look absolutely massive. They're probably going to look like shit. So same way, like you like, it's like you take 5 grams of creatine over how many years and then you get huge, right? And it's the food that makes you big. It's the steroids that's the workers that puts that fucking shit in your muscles. So the steroids are literally just helping you build the muscle out of the substance that you need to build the muscle. And the substance you need is the food. That's why you're fucking eating like 6,000 calories, 7,000 calories in your shit, because you need the calories, man. It's real.
Try at least the fucking, oh my God, the last YouTube video I filmed, it was like 3 days straight of just ripping blood, trying to do this gambling thing. It was horrible. I probably eaten 2,000 calories. But back to your point, don't you think, right, you take somebody, 2 people, identical genetics, identical eating habits, and they take their first cycle. One takes 250 tests and some anavar, and one takes 600 Tren.
Jesus Christ.
Growth hormone. Or we can even simplify it. One takes 250 tests and one takes 500 tests. You don't think, like, the one that
500, okay, I think 500 tests is going to be great, but I don't think that's a comparison we should use, because we're talking about people that are taking, that we assume are taking grams of gear, like your cycle now, right?
Yeah, so okay, we'll just use me as an example. I'm taking what, like 2.5 grams of gear right now. If I had the exact same lifestyle habits, but I was only taking 500 tests, I would be significantly smaller than I am now.
So I don't think you would be significantly smaller. I think at the current time, if you were just taking 500 tests versus all the stuff you're on, like 900 tests and then EQ, right, and then some other stuff, I think you're going to look a lot harder. You're going to look a lot drier and fuller on the stuff you're on now. Size difference, not going to be very much of a difference. But if you're taking, say, for example, you took like 250 tests over the course of 4 or 5 years, obviously coming off when you needed to, versus taking like 600 tests over the course of 4 or 5 years, you're obviously going to be bigger on the 600 tests, but it requires the 4 or 5 years of mass building for you to get there. So like, a ton of people these days will just jump on a fuck ton of steroids and they'll look small. That's because they just started steroids and they think that they should be taking as big of a cycle when they literally just started. But to be honest, most people, you're 6'2", so you're a little bit different because you're fucking bigger. You're 230 pounds, so you're going to need a higher dosage than the average guy. But like, most people aren't going to need as big of a dose starting off. That's why More Plates, More Dates always says titrate up, titrating up. Because just like any fucking drug that you ever take, you increase the dose if you want to like start feeling the same, you know, and reap the benefits. But like I truly believe that if someone decided they wanted to blast their socks off in the first cycle with 3 grams, they're not going to be responding as well to it versus if someone decided to start at a lower dose and then go up to those 3 grams in like 2 years. And then the person that did decide to wait for the thing until two years, he's probably going to have a better physique in the long run, and then also a much longer bodybuilding life, which is important if you actually care about like competing and getting huge later. Most people don't, but like if you do, then that's why like the whole like the long game is important. So my belief is that like in the off season, you're actually not going to see people running as much gear as you think they are, because just like you said, you feel best on 500 tests, right? So why would you make yourself feel like shit for a year of bulking versus you could feel great for a year of bulking and still be getting big? You know what I mean?
Still be getting big, but my mindset towards it has always been, well, I did a light cycle. My first cycle was like 500 tests, 25 anavar, just to see how I reacted to androgens. But my mentality has always been, I don't have time. You know, I could get hit by a fucking bus tomorrow and die. I don't have time to let my goals wait, whereas I need to do everything as fast as I possibly can, even if it's going to be flying a little bit closer to the sun. I can do what I can do. I get my blood work done every month. I take all the shit I need to take to stay as healthy as I can. But for someone like me, not necessarily who's looking for longevity in bodybuilding, someone like me that just needs to get as jacked as possible, as fast as possible, to me, it makes sense to say, you know what, fuck it. Let's just take 3 grams of gear, and maybe not your first cycle so that you understand like what's going on, but once you're on your second, third cycle, it made sense to me to just be like, you know what, here we go,
just to try it, right?
I'm ready for a fucking BB Pro cycle.
Right. You also don't have like the same goals though, like say like I guess I have, or these people who want to compete though.
But I would also say most people don't have the goals of competing. In my experience, most people that I've met, like a bodybuilder, a true bodybuilder, is a very rare breed. Somebody that can eat the same meal 8 times a day for how many years did it take for you to get your pro card? Fucking 10 years, whatever it might be. That's a very rare breed. Most people are like myself and are like, fuck, I just want to get jacked, fuck bitches as fast as I can. So it would only make sense to, you know, like speed run the dose.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. What's the like vision that you have for your physique as like the final goal?
I have my dream physique right now, other than my gyno. I got gyno, which I'm going to get cut out. But right now I have my dream physique. I'm taking a heavy cycle because I really want to push because obviously the freakier you look, the more viral you go. Yeah. So I want to look as freaky as I can, simply so I can, it's good for my brand. It builds my brand. Yeah. I get more views, and that's the only reason I'm doing it. My dream physique is exactly how I look, and my calves are kind of small, but you know, we'll work on that.
Fucking nice, bro. So you fucking take 2.5 grams and you're gonna get your dream physique. Fuck.
Plan.
I can't totally disagree with that, because I kind of did the same thing when I was like first blowing up on TikTok and stuff. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, if I want to look fucking great, then I need to take some gear. I need to take gear at all. So I just decided that when my test crashed, because long story that some people have heard on my podcast before, basically I took a fuck ton of, I didn't want to be unnatural. I wanted to stay natty as long as possible. And I thought I could get into men's physique back in like when it started in 2014, because they were a lot smaller, thinking that I could like be natural and get to Olympus stage. So I competed in so many shows natural, and God, dude, like I did well in the regional shows because I'd been lifting for like 10 years at that point. But like when I got to like the fucking national shows, I'd be getting like 16th plus place. They don't even rank you anymore. They were just basically like, bro, you should not like, even be here.
Fuck off the stage.
It was fucking, it sucked so bad, bro. And I would just like look at the guys next to me and I'm like, God damn, you guys are running some shit.
Yeah.
And finally, like my coach kept pressing these pills on me, and he's like, "Take this. It's called a aromatase inhibitor. It'll make you drier. It's not a steroid, I promise." And I was just like, I was literally like so obsessed with like just getting this pro card. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll take it. And then I kept taking these pills, and then one of them ended up being Halotestin.
Oh my God.
Right. And then I told my friend like 2 weeks or a week after I started taking it, he was like, "What are you on right now?" And I'm like, "I'm on this, and Halotestin." And he's like, "Bro,
it's like the strongest hormone."
You realize? And I was like, oh, fuck.
How'd you like Halotestin? My roommate wants me to try it. I'm like, fuck no, dude. I don't need that in my life.
Man, I don't want to say this because maybe it's not a good idea, but it was fucking kind of sick though.
Yeah. Did it fuck bro, I've heard it fucks with your stomach so bad that you can't even like eat.
Well, I mean, I only took it for peak week. I can't remember if I took it for 1 or 2 weeks. I think he gave it to me for 2 weeks at 10 milligrams.
Okay. Okay. So you weren't going crazy with it.
Is that, I would assume. I think that's like a basic dose.
Yeah.
I don't think that's. Yeah, it's not a crazy dose. I don't know how high people have gone with halotestin, but it was Winstrol and halotestin. So I was on Winstrol at 50 milligrams before then for like 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and then the halotestin. And the halotestin really kicked it in, and it really made me real full.
Yeah.
And I fucking won my pro card. Not saying people should take halotestin and win their pro cards.
You heard it first. Take halotestin. You're gonna go pro. Dreams will come true.
But I want to be real, man. I don't remember the aggression or the stomach issues.
Okay.
So either I respond well, or I actually just don't fucking remember. And I was like going through peak week, so I felt like shit anyways. Yeah. And so it just was all the same to me. That probably is what happened. But what were we talking about again?
Prior to the halotestin, I have no idea what the fuck we were talking about.
Oh, shit.
Something about I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember. Anyways, basically, I just think that it fucked me up long term, and then I had really suppressed testosterone, and then after that I had to make a decision when I found out what was actually going on with me. I was like depressed at my place. It was COVID 2020. I had I don't know if she was my girlfriend yet at the time. I think she was, and then our other best friend, and it was just me and them, and they were just taking care of me, and like they're both girls, so they were just like, Niall, you should like really like focus on like your mental health or whatever. And I was just, dude, I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is not my fucking mental health. There's fucking something wrong with me. Yeah, are you fucking dumb?
So, but that's what the fucking bitches. It's just like, no, you need to eat a crystal and like rub it on your face or whatever.
Rub it on your face.
So yeah, no, I won't be taking any advice from girls.
I mean, I gotta be real though. If I didn't take steroids, then I would not. But I feel like I understand girls better because of the hormone problems. Like when a girl's going through a period, I'm just like, oh no, I get it, bro. You feel like you want to fucking rip your skin off. Oh, I was watching one of your videos with this girl, and immediately you talk about Tren and how like you feel like you're like, what is it? You're
like trying to just rip my, like crawl out of my skin.
Yeah, you're trying to crawl out of my skin. Yeah. And literally she was like, that's exactly how it feels. She's never taken Tren or anything. Yeah, yeah. She's just like, literally, that's exactly how, like, I guess her period feels, or when her hormones are fucked feels.
Yeah, forever empathetic for girls. I used to be like, bitch, just shut up. Like, you're fine. But now it's like, when your hormones are fucked, you really, it's fucked.
You feel psycho, bro.
You're losing it, or you want to fucking cry on a couch for no reason. Like it just, hormones are a powerful thing not to be fucked with. But that's also why steroids are so fun, is being able to control your hormones is one of the most empowering, exciting experiences you can do as a man.
I do think it builds some wisdom to at least go through those experiences. Like I wish I could keep telling people like, don't do these things because they're bad for you. And I do feel like you should be aware about like the bad consequences, of course, but like I'm one person that likes to check off all the boxes off of the things I want to do and all the experiences, and I can
100%.
I literally don't regret a single thing.
Definitely said. I think every person out there should run one cycle in their life just to try it. You know, maybe if you fucking have a heart attack and die, that's my bad. I didn't say it, but for the most part, new experiences are, trying new things are really important to me, and steroids are something that can potentially benefit your life so much. I think everyone should try it.
That's the end of the podcast, guys. Shit. Oh, fuck.
If you feel like any of the medications that we spoke about today may benefit you, such as BPC 157, GH secretagogues such as Tesamorelin, IGF-1, oxandrolone troche, semaglutide, then you can obtain these from Transcend HRT, and the link for that will be in the bio. If you feel like you're experiencing symptoms of low testosterone, such as depression, anxiety, lack of motivation, as well as lack of sex drive, then you can get this checked out as well by getting your blood work done at Transcend, and they will provide you expert medical analysis. Transcend HRT has worked with many professional bodybuilders and pro athletes, such as Thor Bjornsson, Phil Heath, and Jeremy Buendia. And if you feel like this podcast has any relevancy to you, I do believe that this clinic will provide of great benefit to you as well.
Damn, 30 pounds of muscle in 11 months. Let's tell the viewers what cycle.
Huh? I missed what you said there.
What was the cycle?
500 tests, 25 anavar in the last 6 weeks.
Okay.
And I was like pretty dialed. There was definitely the most dialed. I made more progress then. Well, also because your first cycle hits the androgen receptors good and hard. But I made more progress that cycle than I've made this cycle so far. So,
crazy how that works.
Yeah, and I'm taking a lot of steroids now.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, I've heard this a fuck ton of times, even from guys that are just like straight up real about like the grams they've taken. Like Ziegler Monster, he didn't notice any change in the gains, the speed of gains from like 1.2 grams to 2.4 grams.
Yeah, I believe it. That's pretty much how I'm feeling. I feel like I'm making progress slower, but I'm also like, of course, diets first. First cycle, I wasn't drinking really much. Like, pretty much this cycle, I get dialed for about 4 days. And then I go get rinsed in Vegas for 3 days, and then I come back. So like the progress is definitely stunted by like 75%. Habitual drinking, gambling, and cocaine. But that's just the. I mean, it's not like I am like, why am I not getting bigger? What's going on? It's because that's why. Fucking
I'm sure there's a small potential I'll be canceled for this, or people will fucking judge me for this, but I'm just going to be real. But like, have you thought about like alternatives to like cocaine and alcohol?
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
going out?
I think there's a million ways to have fun. And I think, well, mostly a lot of people, why so many people find themselves like down this rabbit hole of becoming an alcoholic, getting addicted to cocaine, is people don't understand that nothing is free. Nothing in this world is free. So you have to be very careful with the vices that you choose. You have to know what you're putting in your body. So I pay very, very, very close attention to what I'm doing with my body. And so I go through a lot of phases. Alcohol has always been in and out because it gives me such a bad hangover and stunts gains so aggressively that I'll get fucked up one weekend, and then everyone knows the feeling. You get fucked up, you wake up the next day and you're like, damn, I'm never doing that again. But as far as the cocaine, like I enjoy vices, but I never use a drug for longer than, depends on the drug. Like if it's going to be Xanax, like maybe 2 weeks, then time to chill, because that one you'll get addicted to fast. Cocaine about 3-4 weeks, and then I'm a couple months off, because I'm very, very cautious of like things are great until all of a sudden you have a massive problem and you have an addiction. So am I addicted to vices 100%? But I switch it up. I use Adderall is another one that I love when I'm like drinking and whatnot. And another, like, it's not a vice, but another phase that I enjoy going through is sober. I go about a month or two sober every year. I usually spend about 2 months straight sober, just to like kind of recalibrate my brain, give myself another chance to reflect, because when you're high for so consistently, you start to get into a state of delusion. So I think it's important to reset. But yeah, as far as alternatives, other drugs. Adderall is the closest to cocaine, but if I'm not going out, I've done every drug except for like heroin or whatever.
Yeah, heroin's not the best. I don't like it that much.
You've done heroin?
No, I'm just playing.
I was gonna say, what's just casually on the podcast? Like, yeah, damn, heroin, not it, guys.
But I was just asking because obviously I'm not condoning any of these substances and stuff, but just being straight up real, there are like options that I know that other bodybuilders are taking, and obviously I know this because I've experimented myself in the past. But for example, like there's a lot of bodybuilders. It's common in like Europe, the gay community and bodybuilding, but one of the alternatives for alcohol is GHB.
Oh, this girl made me try GHB 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I hated it.
Really? Why?
GHB. So first of all, I take it, and that night I was also doing other drugs.
Did she give it to you while you were like on alcohol and shit?
No, we were sober. Well, I was doing cocaine, and then we took GHB.
Okay.
And at the time, I felt like, all right, I felt a little floatier, a little like intoxicated, but not like faded. Like alcohol, you can get fucked up. Xanax, you can get fucked up. Everything. But GHB, I felt like intoxicated, but the come down of it made me feel the consequence of coming down on GHB was one of the least pleasant come downs.
What did you feel?
So nauseous, so dizzy.
Yeah, because she gave you way too much.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. I wasn't intoxicated enough. I would want to take 10 times the dose.
You didn't feel intoxicated while you were on it?
Well, I felt intoxicated, but not shit faced.
Not shit faced. Yeah.
So GHB is nice, but then I came down and it was just like agony. Like everything is fucking painful. So I will not be dabbling with that anymore. It's
not. You don't get as like fucking dumb as you do on alcohol, but you're a little bit more aware. But and that happens commonly, but it also depends on like what kind of substance you have. There's like GHB, there's GBL, there's BDO, and they all like feel different too. And that's the weird thing about any of these obviously underground substances and why you should be careful about it. You don't know what you're taking, and so some of them honestly suck kind of. But as far as like my experience, at least the only thing I know is that even like consulting with some doctors about this that know about bodybuilders that have been taking recreational drugs too, it's at least, if you have to take alcohol, kind of like how people like utilize kratom to come off of opioids, it's kind of at least better for you in the way where it's not going to suppress protein synthesis and it's not going to wreck your liver as much as alcohol will and just all of these other things. But it's fucking super dangerous in the short term because of dosing, just like you got fucked up too easily. So that's like the biggest problem. And this was kind of a different situation because he took like he took a lot because it was a big mistake. It was a huge mistake. But one of my best friends died from GHB. Really? So yeah. So obviously I don't think anyone should ever actually take it, but just for informational reasons.
Bodybuilders.
And then the other thing is like Coke is definitely like, Coke's hard to crack, but no pun intended, but I feel like I think in my journey of like doing stuff and like experimenting with stuff when I was younger, just I realized like coming off of stimulants that aren't like caffeine was kind of important for my bodybuilding journey. But that's only because I have to take substances in the long run because I'm trying to compete. So I just want to say, like, if anyone's like continuously going to have to take gear for like years, I don't think you guys should take any stimulants or cocaine or anything, because that's the thing that like my doctors and other medical professionals have talked about. Well, sometimes it just fucking stimulates you and stimulates that heart attack, even if you don't actually have as much like plaque buildup, for example, in your veins, or you don't have like organ growth, but sometimes that stimulant take will just kind of stimulate the heart attack. So that's like the kind of scary part.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I get concerned when I'm doing so much cocaine and I'm fucking sitting there like, this is it. But as far as how short of a period of time I've been on steroids, my blood work's clean. So far, I would like to think I'm in the clear, but I don't. I would never plan on using cocaine for a long period of time or using steroids for a long period of time. But as far as the drugs that I choose to use, I think the popular ones are the popular ones for a reason. I have experimented with research chemicals before, and typically I find it to be less pleasant. Like Phenibut is one I've used before. Horrible hangover. Every research chemical that I've used just it's not as enjoyable of a high. The hangover's worse for me, generally speaking. And so I kind of just stick to the popular ones, you know, the cocaine, Xanax, ketamine, whatever it might be. Like to keep it simple.
Okay, it's kind of chill.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, ketamine's dope. I like you just got to be careful with it.
I may or may not be going to do a day trip this weekend, so just to get the cardio in, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm prepping and it gets you shredded. I totally got my pro card from going to these events.
Exactly.
You know, nothing like a little shrooms to get you moving. You know, it's healthy for you. It's a vegetable. I was wondering. So some of the things, something I've noticed about like since I've started this podcast, weirdly enough, is like I really wanted to do a lot of work in like the hardcore professional bodybuilding community, because I look up to a lot of these guys, a lot of these like top professionals, and you know, like fucking everybody wants to be Chris Bumstead if you're in bodybuilding. But like I hope it's okay that I say this, but my one of the guys I was working with, one of these outreach guys that I was working with, reached out to Flex Lewis, and we actually talked about doing a podcast together, him coming on my pod and then maybe me going on his pod with his equipment. But then the guy mentioned that we may talk about steroids, and immediately afterwards the option was shut down, and the guy and the Flex's manager was like, actually ideating steroids for a full podcast discounts a lot of the hard work and backbone of the sport, and it's not something that we feel like we want to do. And it kind of sucks because I have noticed that like there will be people that want to come on my podcast, but I think sometimes there's guys that will like see the podcast and see the name Trensparent too, and they'll immediately be like, no, he's probably like promoting gear or something like that or whatever shit like that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that steroids get such a bad rap. That was one of the, but I personally think steroids are fucking awesome. So that's why I speak so highly of them, is kind of maybe to change the stigma around them. I actually applied for a business loan for one of my businesses 3-4 months ago, and they approved it, but then they wanted to ask, you know, like, what business is this? And I was like, oh, it's a clothing brand. I need capital for inventory, because I do social media. And they were like, oh, no problem, what's your social media about? I was like, oh, I just do like bodybuilding. And they're like, you don't talk about drugs, right? And I was like, well, I mean, I take steroids and I'm open about it. And they're like, oh, we can't give you a loan, just
whoa, fuck,
take steroids. And it's just like, how is that even that's not even fucking related to the clothes, but just the fact that I take steroids,
right? The stigma. And I talked about this with someone else too, and I'm wondering if you think this might be true. I feel like it makes sense, but I think I feel like a lot of the top like respectable professionals in like the IFBB league and even actors, say for example like top WWE and like The Rock and shit, like they probably, we're talking about how they like don't mention it because they're technically committing to a crime and admitting it publicly if they do.
That's fair. That is totally fair. And people have asked me before, like, yo, do you think like you're gonna get in trouble for openly abusing like illegal drugs? And the answer is I have no idea. I hope not. It's too late if it is a problem. Well, you know, because I've already been taking steroids on the internet. Like if that was something I could get like arrested for or whatever, you know, it's too late now. So it's too far gone. We're going to be rocking with.
Yeah. I feel like watching your videos though, because people have come up to me like in the beginning when people saw me and my physique before I talked about gear, they're just like, I want to look like you. I want to look like you. And then when I came open about gear, they're just like, oh fuck, dude, what should I take? Right. And I'm like, no, this isn't the way it's supposed to go. And then I just made all those videos. Like I made this one video like 3 years ago or something that was like kind of like the podcast you did, where I did like a 30-minute video of just like all the steroids I took with one of my boys, and got a lot of exposure. And then a lot of people came up to me after these videos and this podcast, and they actually tell me like, bro, like watching your podcast has convinced me not to take steroids because it fucking sounds way too complicated.
It's very fucking complicated. Right? And I couldn't imagine. Some people do it. A lot of people do it without a coach. If I didn't have Tanner, I would probably be dead or have some serious problems going on, because it is just such a complicated formula, and everybody is also different. So it just, a lot of people don't understand how huge of a pain it is, a pain in the ass it is.
It's such a pain in the ass, dude. Fuck.
Literally.
Fucking so many supplements too that you got to take on the side too.
Yeah, it's I'm already regretting
ridiculous.
Fucking 60 fish oils. I'm gonna
but like that's why I was thinking, like when I was watching your YouTube videos, I feel like honestly, if I was natural, I would not really be so interested in having to deal with all that shit.
Yeah, because it sounds easy, surface level. Take a needle, put Tren in it, put it in your ass, and then you get huge. But it's more like, yeah, it just, there's so much shit that goes into it. And if you're not working out and eating properly enough, you're just gonna like get acne, gyno, and then also still look like shit. So
yeah. At least we talk about it. I feel like what else can you really do? You know? Do you know Bart Kwan? No,
I've heard of him.
He was like the guy. They were like he was like the guy who created like Just Kidding Films with his buddy. It was like some random YouTube channel. He wasn't in fitness when they started it, so they like had a giant YouTube channel, but then he started going into fitness, but I was just wondering because he was one of the people too that he was like, he's been a bodybuilder and powerlifter, and now he has kids and everything, and he's fucking been lifting for so long, and he was thinking like, I really want to take steroids and stuff. And then we jumped on a podcast and talked about it, and immediately afterwards he's like, I really don't ever want to take steroids now. That sounds like he was like, I heard that you can like just jump on steroids and eat whatever the fuck you want, and I was like, well, you can,
but there's problems with that come with, you know, like my first or second cycle, I forget, but my HDL LDL ratio was at like 17 or something after my second cycle, because I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just take anavar and eat whatever the fuck I want. And then okay, well, now I'm about to have like a, you know, some serious health problems at this rate.
Bro, when I was doing the oral only cycles, and this was obviously because I had no idea what I was doing, and like I didn't want to pin, and at first I didn't know that I was taking gear for like a couple weeks, but I continued that oral cycle for like the next year to get my pro card. Like not that one cycle, obviously I had periods of time off and shit, but basically it was like oral only. Bro, at the end of it, my liver enzymes were in the 300s.
The 300s.
They told me to get a biopsy, and they said I probably have hemochromatosis. Yeah,
that is brutal. Yeah, that's no joke.
Shit was fucking nuts.
That's flying as close to the sun as you can.
Yeah, we're good now. Liver enzymes are still always just like a little bit higher than average, but
the liver
like
it recovers
lower than 50
very well. So.
Yeah, that's the nice part. Lots of Tudka. I think honestly part of the reason though is like I also quit drinking for like 6 years or so, because you know I already drank enough in the fraternity, like fucking tons of like handle races and tons of shotgunning and shit. So
do you drink now or no? Well, you're on prep, so no.
Yeah, and I don't drink anymore because I feel like I had those days, so it was fun in the meantime, but I was also fucking tired of like just fucking getting fat for no reason. Like, just like, why do I keep fucking getting fat and I don't look at, I put all this hard work in. So to be honest, it was just more draining that I put in hard work and it just wouldn't show.
Just erased by one weekend of drinking. It affects it a lot. I'm the exact opposite. It's like, I fucking worked so hard to put this 10 pounds on, and then I got rinsed for a weekend, and now I'm like 9 pounds down. It's just exhausting. But I now that I have my dream physique, I'm comfortable living the life, my dream life, without having like. Once I've gotten to the physique, now I'm no longer hungry. And a lot of people told me when I first started taking steroids, like I remember I had an old coach, and I was like, I want to take steroids, and he was like, you're gonna develop male body dysmorphia or whatever, where you need to get bigger, but for me that's not been the case. And I feel like for a lot of people that I've talked to, one of my roommates, Nate Udi, who's also talking to me, he's like, you know, I have my dream physique, 3 cycles and I'm honestly good on this. So that's another stigma around steroids that I disagree with, but I mean that's person to person experience.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It definitely varies per person. I think most people always want to like improve, but like at a certain point, man, like if you have a good life though, if you're like happy with the other stuff that's going around, you normally don't feel as much of the pain to get bigger, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas versus like your girl just cheated on you and you're fucking in the dumpster, you want to get fucking yoked.
But there's so many people. Okay, well, bodybuilding's different. Like when you're a bodybuilder, you need to get bigger to compete at the sport and be the best. But so many people, I know a lot of people that there's a massive imbalance in their life. Like it's great at first, you want to get more jacked, you practice discipline, you look better, people respect you more. But at a certain point, it's like you keep getting these bigger and bigger muscles, but you're letting your relationships lack, you're letting your bank account lack. And I think a lot of people need to, you know, like maybe I would say the a maximum appropriate time to be obsessed with the gym and chicken and rice if you're not a bodybuilder is like maybe take a year to get huge, but then take a step back and focus on your other professional goals, unless your professional goal is bodybuilding.
Yeah. I think that's a good thing to say. Backtracking a little bit, what was like the first memory you ever had to like get you even considering like lifting?
Oh, dude, a girl broke my heart, and I was like, "Fuck that bitch! I'm gonna get huge, and she's gonna want me back." That was it. I was a freshman in college, and that was really all it took.
Damn. What? Can I ask a little deeper into it?
It wasn't anything too crazy. A pretty standard breakup. You know, we were going off into college, and she didn't want to do like a long distance thing or whatever. And I was like, you know what? And that was another reason. I remember when that happened, I was like, I gotta get fucking rich, jacked, and famous so that I'm like all over her, like she can't escape me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make her regret it all. And now obviously I don't care at all, but at the time my like immature, well I'm still pretty damn immature, but my immature whatever 18-year-old brain, like that was it. Rich, jacked, famous, make every bitch that ever did me wrong regret it. And now that I actually do have, like, I'm content with my life, the last thing I ever think about is women. I think women are just fucking, at my age, I mean, when I'm older, want to get married 25, that's cool. I'll think about girls, but right now I think they're just leeches as far as my experience goes. Like, I don't get anything out of girls. Like I enjoy, you know, like as a man, you know, I'm horny, I'm gonna have to have sex here and there, but for the most part, now that I'm content with myself and I can look in the mirror and I'm happy with the man that I've made, I never think about women at all. Whereas when I was an insecure guy, you know, small, no money, whatever, it was always like, I need the validation from these women. And that's, you see a lot of guys that are chronic daters, like always like, why the fuck did he already get a girlfriend again? Those are the people that are looking for external validation, which is just digging yourself deeper and deeper and deeper into this hole of insecurity. So I guess my biggest advice to people would be, especially if a girl just kind of like broke your heart or whatever it might be, a lot of people think, and I've heard advice from other people, is like, oh, just fuck other girls, oh, find a new girl. And it's like, it's the same idea as getting high on drugs to make yourself feel better. Like you have to face the problem head on and focus on yourself, stay sober or whatever until you can achieve your goals. And that's another thing I openly use drugs, but I work first. Like I used to have a problem of like letting the drugs become before work because it's just a short-term gratification. But now I'm very strict on myself. Like, you need to do what you need to do in order to achieve your goals, and then you can get high, then you can fuck girls, you know, or you're gonna end up in this huge pit of I don't know, unsuccessful.
Yeah. I mean, always putting energy in yourself at the end of the day, right? Like, how else are you gonna like keep excelling? How else are you gonna be someone of like of higher worth to somebody that's way more worth than that girl if you're not worth more? So I think that's what like leads all of us and many guys to directly go to the path of like, I want to get more jacked, I want to get more rich, I want to get more famous, anything that brings up mating value. I mean, to be real. So I mean, and it makes sense. It's just, it fucking sucks that it has to be like that. Like I wish like the world could be all like love fairies and fucking, you know, skipping in a better roses or shit. But
yeah, but the ruthless nature of it all is what makes everything so amazing. It's kind of like capitalism versus communism. Like communism on paper sounds amazing. Everyone's the same, everyone's equal, everyone gets fed, everyone's happy. But then all of a sudden you have fucking communism and it's fucked. So I enjoy the competitive and ruthless nature of the world, and it keeps things, it keeps you stimulated as a man.
It's like playing RuneScape.
I've never played RuneScape.
What?
No.
That's crazy, bro.
I never played any video games in my life except for Fortnite. Fortnite's lit.
Fortnite's kind of lit, but no other video games? That's insane.
Nah,
what else did you do?
If I want to, I don't like movies. I don't like TV. Honestly, I only like Fortnite. I don't do Fortnite anymore. If I'm bored and I wanted to just like relax, what do I do with my time? I don't even know what I do with myself. Honestly, I'm pretty much just, I guess, always working at this point because I enjoy what I do so much. So it's not really a problem. But when I used to want to do a mindless activity, it'd always be Fortnite.
I guess what changed in your life since you started gear?
What's that?
What changed in your life since you started gear?
What's changed in my life since I started gear? Oh, where do I even start? This is gonna sound like a fucking ad. Get ready, people. It's
yeah, you're ready. Yeah, you definitely talked about some of it already.
Significantly more girls, I would say.
Even though we don't care about them.
Huh?
Even though we don't care about them.
we don't care about them, which maybe is another reason. There's a lot of factors into getting girls, and maybe because I stopped chasing them. Because when you're chasing girls, they fucking flee. And I started, you know, building my garden, and they're coming in. But literally
building the garden,
probably 100 times more females. I make a significantly more money now. Potentially related. I mean, social media helps me make money, but I make more money now, and I think it's just because I'm more dialed with everything in my life. And when I started taking testosterone, it's like the anti-weed. When you smoke weed, you're happy sitting on the couch, eating Cheetos, watching TV, and you feel good. That feels great. But I'll be sitting there once I started taking testosterone, and I'm just like itching to get something done.
Yeah.
I can't sit still. I have to be productive. I have to get something done. So I started making a lot more money, and those are the biggest two. And then, of course, now I'm famous, which is... I'm not sure if it would have happened with or without the steroids, but that was part of the game plan along. So that were the big three: more bitches, more money, and I'm famous. Which, as far as the male dream goes, that's kind of all I could really ask for. And then the other side, I've got screamingly high blood pressure. I have gyno, and I need to get a boob job. I don't really have too bad of acne. I'm going bald.
Are you really like a lot of hair loss?
Well, I mean, so my hairline's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, bro.
It's not bad, guys. But it used to be crisp. Like, we used to be filled in here. And this cycle, the Ment, holy fuck, the Ment's making me bald bad. So I cut out the Ment 3 days ago because I was just like, I cannot do this anymore, the baldness. So that would be, you know, 3 pros, 3 cons: more money, more bitches, famous, high blood pressure, gyno, hair loss. Oh, and my cholesterol is a little bit fucked, but honestly, my cholesterol, when I hop off cycle, I can fix it in like 3-4 weeks. I can get back to normal. So those are the big ones. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm just a happier person overall. Overall, I love my existence. It's quite literally like I live my dream life now compared to prior. I had a really hard time finding a purpose. I would wake up every day and already be like pretty much excited to go back to bed. And now it feels like if I could have one superpower, it would be I wouldn't have to sleep, because I'm so excited to be going all the time that I just would rather, like, when I have to go to sleep, it's like, fuck, I gotta fuck off for 12 hours now. Yeah.
How old are you again?
21.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. Fuck, dude. Holy shit, you're a fucking baby, man. That's wild.
Yeah. I hopped on when I was 20.
Damn. You're fucking tall and huge as shit. Yeah, don't stop playing the grind smartly, if that makes any sense. Yeah, like especially in social media, this shit does not last forever. Not even close. Like you see, literally everybody has had a downfall. It happens. No matter what, you can't stop it from happening. Yeah, but you know, that matters is what you do with what you have left over, right?
Yeah, I saw a video of Eubanks 2 days ago, and he was like, honestly, guys, I've set myself up where if I never made money from social media again, like, I'm good. I could just fuck off like forever. But it's never been a huge problem for me. The social media, honestly, I do social media because the connections and the girls are nice. And like, again, we don't care about girls, but like to a certain degree, it feeds my ego, right? So I remember like the main idea is in the pursuit of finding a wife, I need to, if you only can pick from 10 people, the odds of you finding an amazing wife, because I care a lot about having a wife and having kids with her. Yeah. As far as fucking hoes, whatever, I could go without it. I could go a year without sex, no problem. But I want to be, you know, if you're famous, all of a sudden the options and the connections you have as far as finding a wife multiplied by 10,000. The opportunities that you have, as far as, I remember watching a video, this is such a random example, but I remember watching a video of James Harden on a boat throwing a cake off the fucking side because it was his birthday or whatever, and I was like, who gets invited to these things? Like how did the people on this boat, how did they get there? And it's like, they're all famous. So
most of them are, but the others are connections.
Yeah.
Connections do make a big...
I had no connections. So I was like, how do I get around to doing cool shit like this and traveling and going like for example, I'm working out with Larry Wheels tomorrow. That shit would never happen if I wasn't famous. So the money is like, I guess the third reason why I do it, because I've always made a good amount of money, fitness aside. I still make most of my money from trading crypto anyways. So like if I ever fall off, I'll be good.
Yeah. In a minute, but I mean, it does make a big difference. That was probably the most fucking frat way you could say that. I'm thinking we're actually like, I did not imagine us to be this far, or I didn't imagine us to take this much time to just talk about the shit we did. So the other 80% of shit that I was thinking about even talking about, I probably don't have time for. But I kind of want to ask you this Q&A if you're down for it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Banging out. We can do a speedy Q&A.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, before I ask...
Oh, I should take a picture for my Snapchat. I forget, bro, now that I'm like an influencer. Everything I do takes twice as long because I gotta do... Oh, there goes the fucking...
Jesus.
See, gotta take a picture of everything I'm fucking doing. Boom. Yeah, there you go.
Actually, before I ask these, I was kind of curious. How do you feel like... well, actually, no, you kind of already answered it. But I was going to ask, how do you feel like this whole thing and jumping on gear has affected like your relationships?
It's hard to say because since I hopped on gear, I've matured a lot as a person, probably unrelated to steroids. But now I value my relationships and I respect the people in my life a lot more. Like every one of I've always respected my family, but now it's multiplied by 10, like family first over everything. I work hard for my family, all my best friends. And another big thing is now that I have kind of a following and a little more money, I really appreciate my friends that I had before this came, because now all of a sudden there's a lot of people that want to be friends with me just because of what I have. So
of course
I really am loyal to death to my best friends and stuff. So gear or not, my relationship with my loved ones is significantly better, and my relationship with women is significantly worse. Like I used to be a gentleman, buy girls flowers, pick them up, and now like I'm very disrespectful towards most women. Of course, other than like my family, like my sister, my mom, love them to death and everything. But girls now, maybe it's because whatever, some girl broke my heart in the past, but now it's like all bitches to me. Only need to talk to women because I want to fuck them. Don't treat girls, with nearly as much respect. I don't know if it's because of the steroids or not. So I would say overall plus 100 points on the loved ones and family, minus 100 points on the women in my life.
Damn.
As far as bitches.
Yeah. This girl I'm talking to said, guys on Tren just fucking become absolute jackasses. At least the guys that she's talked to way in the past. Yeah,
and I oh my god, Tren, bro, I blocked 4 girls off of my phone when I was on Tren. I was on Tren for 2 weeks just because they were irritating me or whatever. But also there's something about it, girls, and I guess most of the situations to it that I talk to, most of the females I talk to, it's like a relatively toxic situation. But the girls, the ones that I talk to they can't get enough of the asshole guy, the character that I am today versus who I was when I was 18. Just, it drives them absolutely crazy.
Well, I think, so what I feel like it is, at least from my experiences, maybe I could be totally fucking wrong and don't know shit, but, I have had a good amount of experiences, and I don't listen to their podcasts or really support it, but I know that this guy Myron has said it before, the Fresh and Fit podcast, that pod?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, and he talks about the dark triad. The girls are aroused by narcissism, Machiavellianism, goddamn it, and psychopathy. But to my knowledge, it's not, at least to my belief, that dark triad, by appearance, it is arousing, but the actual substance of what that person is and what they believe in, if it serves them but it doesn't make their life overall happier, then it's not. But from the first view, it's arousing because it's like, if this guy is interested in her, for example, he's going to protect her, he's fucking strong, he's like whatever, alpha as fuck. Basically she feels, hopefully she feels I guess like defended, or like that's not the right word, but she feels supported and like protected if she needs to be, because this guy is like a strong dude or something that doesn't give a fuck about what other people think. But I think to a certain extent, sometimes if you actually have all those traits, it, like, say that it affects all the relationships that guys has, or maybe it starts making his reputation bad, or any of these other things, which normally it does if you have all three of those traits, then it's gonna change how she feels about you. She's not gonna stay 100%. Aroused by you. You're not gonna be someone of high status. She's not gonna want to stay with you. So like the way that I see it is like, if you have confidence, obviously, and then you just have like a lot to provide, you know, you're stable, you have a lot to provide, you have a lot of influence, all these things that are like powerful. And then if you're also, in my personal opinion, a good man. So there's this thing, I can't remember, I don't think it was Gabor Mate, I don't remember, some scientist on the podcast, but he said the top three things that he noticed women are attracted to, and this is what he does for like his PhD and his professor studies, is ability to provide is number one, and then number two is intelligence, which can be signaled through humor. It doesn't always signal through humor, but it can be. And then the third one is kindness, which is not one that is normally associated with narcissism or the other shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like I think people are just like trying to stick things to like, oh, it's this simple. It is this. This is what they're aroused by, but it's not the case.
Well, but to a certain, 100%, I agree. But to a certain degree, like a great way to manipulate these women, which isn't necessarily a good way for a good relationship. Well, it's a horrible, by manipulating women, it's a horrible way for a sustainable relationship. But when I'm talking to girls, like very disrespectful, but I let them know that whoever ends up being like the winner, as in my wife, gets treated like a queen. Like, oh, I want to raise my kids here. I'm so excited to, you know, like buy my wife that car. So you sprinkle in that, like, you have it in you to be an amazing guy, but you don't show it to that girl specifically, because women are dying to get what they can't have. So when you have this carrot, then you're dragging them along, a girl will be obsessed with you forever. And you're much older and more mature than myself, so maybe you're not wrong, no, okay, you're not. But in my experience manipulating these women, that's one of the number one tips. You're not wrong. I don't like to see it as manipulating if I'm doing it like genuinely, if that makes sense. Like I don't think about like, oh, I need to act mean to this person. Like I do stay nice, but the person that ends up being my girl, I treat completely different for fucking sure. But it's a fantasy for women in general. Like it's literally the fantasy that's what is it called? Fucking 50 Shades of Grey, or any of these other books, is like you have this fucking degen of a motherfucker that can't be tamed, and the fantasy is that she's the one girl that can tame you. Yeah, 100%. That's the fucking fantasy. They love that shit.
Reeling back a little bit though, before we ask the Q&A, how many milligrams of Tren were you on?
Only what did I start with? Only 80, and it drove me fucking...
No way!
80 week drove me...
What?
Fucking
Trinase?
Insane. No, E.
Oh, okay.
And it was also horrible because it was in my... I was like texting Tanner, I was like, bro, I'm losing it, I can't sleep, I'm blocking people off my phone, I'm anxious, I'm angry. And he was like, all right, cut it out.
Oh, shit.
And I was like... now I have to have this in my body for another 14 days, because Ace, at least you can just be like, all right, we're done, it's out. But with the E, it was just still in there, and I was like, no, 14 more days of hell.
That's crazy, bro. I haven't taken Tren yet, and something that I like preach about it as if I'm fucking better than Tren. Fucking yeah, dude, no. But like, I haven't taken Tren yet, and I was thinking like maybe I'll just like never take it because I'm fucking scared of that shit. Because like the fucking mental shit affects me the worst. And I've been chilling so far, but my coach wants me to take it for this because this is my first pro show ever, and he wants me to take it. And I was supposed to start this week and I said no. So we kind of like reprogrammed the thing to have Tren at a shorter cycle. And I talked to one of my buddies, right? And we were talking about experts in the field that have discussed that it seems to be that like you actually don't need anywhere more than 50 to 100 milligrams of Tren Ace to fulfill the special function it has of basically minimizing catabolism, right? Because that's like the best thing is like you're on a cut and you fucking don't lose muscle when you're on Tren, hardly at least. So the fact that you took 80 and you feel nuts drives me fucking scared bonkers because this guy wants me to take 150 a week. Oh my God. And that's already, that's even not even like as big as everyone else's Tren cycle. Yeah,
bro. People are talking about running 500 Tren. I'm like, I would seriously not be a functioning human off of 500 because I felt the worst, and I've done most drugs out there. I've done, as far as the big hitters, all the drugs except for heroin. Tren is the least pleasant thing I've ever put in my body, and I never went above 80 milligrams.
Fuck. Okay, that's awesome to hear. I'll take 300. Let's do this Q&A. Fuck me. You got a fuck ton of questions, of course. Mr. Jason asks, what made you drop out of college?
I just knew it wasn't, if something doesn't feel right, it's not. And like I said earlier, a lot of people get pressured into doing something for somebody else. A lot of people's parents will say, oh, you got to go to college for this, or everyone else is going to college. And at the time I was just, you know what, I'll go to college to get a business finance degree because that's what everyone's doing. And then I started to kind of almost like gain consciousness when I was 18 and started thinking for myself, and I was like, this is not for me. Something does not feel right about this. So I'm gonna drop out, try my own path, and if it doesn't work for me, college, you can always just go back to college. It's not an opportunity lost. And so I was just like, you know what, it's the same thing as hopping on steroids. This is a scary thing, but I think it could benefit my life, so I'm gonna give it a go. And I dropped out, and I enjoyed not being in school. So
nice.
One thing led to another.
I can't judge that at all because I at least completed school and I did engineering for a year, which is cool. So I got a little backup, so it's a little different. But I dropped out of my master's program a week before it started at UCSD. It's the reason I moved to San Diego. And I don't regret it because this life is way better. Yeah, way better. I would have been fucking miserable just in class with a bunch of other Asians just doing math. How's San Diego, by the way, so far? Pretty sick.
Oh, I enjoy it. I love it. It's a lot more exciting here. A lot more things to do. The whole traffic thing, it kind of pisses me off because I'm from Bozeman, so I would never have to drive more than like 3-minute drive to get somewhere.
Oh damn.
Ever on a highway. And now it's like I want to go to the gas station and I have to get on a 5-lane highway. But other than that, yeah, San Diego's dope. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy you say that about San Diego and I'm fucking living in LA.
Yeah,
that shit's crazy, bro. See, I miss San Diego, bro. I could literally drive. I lived in fucking Mission Bay Park, so I could drive 10 minutes to either PB or downtown. Yeah, wherever I want to fucking go. So fucking tight. People there have really good energy. That place is like very positive.
Yeah,
it's fucking
great
sick.
Vibes.
I know you were like talking about energy in a podcast or some video or something.
It's very real, very important to me. The people that you're around affects everything.
Yeah, for real. You got a fuck ton of questions asking you about if you're ever going to compete.
And the answer is no. I will not ever hop on stage.
Yeah, so I guess this question of do you plan on getting a pro card is false.
When I first started doing social media, I told people I would just because everyone expected me to. It's like, oh, you're the steroid guy. Are you going to hop on stage? And I was like, all right, sure, whatever. It'll be a fun like side quest. And then I thought about it more and it's just like, it's not for me. I don't see myself. I can't even stick to a diet for 2 weeks, let alone years to get a like pro card. So, you know,
I forgot to ask, how many calories were you eating in that first cycle where you gained like 30 pounds ish?
That one was about 5,500 every day. Yeah,
That's a good fucking amount, though.
yeah, that's a good amount. And then the second cycle was about 6.5, and now the goal is 6.5. But I'm realistically, I'm probably sitting at 3.5 to 4, just because I'm so inconsistent.
Would you say you're always eating like shit, or do you sometimes eat good, sometimes eat like shit? Like what does it
First
look like
cycle
for you?
I ate good. Now ever since I just eat like complete shit. And that's okay. If I get my blood work back and the shit's fucked, then I dial it in a little bit better.
Yeah.
But like so far,
What does eating good look like?
to me eating good. Oh boy. To me eating good is like I do my meal preps, like Make Fit meals. To me eating good is one cheat meal a day. Like I still eat Panda Express or Chipotle once a day. When
Chipotle's not bad.
Good. Yeah, okay, it's not bad, but compared to like what bodybuilders eat, like the fucking what my roommate David Rao, I wake up this morning and I like whatever, get a protein bar and a smoothie, and he's eating fucking 15 egg whites with hot sauce, and I'm like, oh, that's
crazy.
disgusting. And then he's got this plain rice with it, and I'm like, dude, what is going on here? And it just makes me realize how, because people think they eat healthy, but until you see somebody that's actually dialed, actually a real bodybuilder, you're like, wow, that's eating healthy. I eat like shit.
I gotta be real sorry for David, but eating egg whites and rice is not actually healthy.
Yeah, I don't
very much
he doesn't have a
nutrition in
coach
that.
doing it. It's his own decision. Like he doesn't have. I think he's gonna get one, but it's his own fucking like.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever meal prep.
Gotcha. It is bodybuilder though. Bodybuilders are missing in some nutrients though sometimes.
Oh, 100%. I haven't had a vegetable. Well, I guess I'm not a bodybuilder, but either way, I haven't had a vegetable in probably 2 months.
Nice. I had mushrooms the other day.
There you go.
Wanderlust and Serenity of Funk. Damn. Asks.
That's the name.
Yeah. He asks, how does he find and bring on all these hoes?
Oh, the bitches just come, guys. I'm telling you, you stop chasing girls, bro. They just find their way onto my stream. Also, girls are cloud chasers. Like they like being on stream, just so they can fucking get the attention or whatever. So I don't really know exactly how it happens. But to be fair, I've also I was trying to get a ton of girls for like this big housewarming stream, which I didn't even make it to because I got sick. But this specific instance, I DM'd like 30 models and I think 4 responded. So
nice.
Sometimes you miss, guys. Sometimes it shit doesn't work out.
Right. What's that fucking saying? Something about like shots, not shots fired.
You miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah. It's a numbers game. And they're not nice women for the women watching.
Beautiful, respected women.
The Connor McClaffin, whatever. The Connor asks, most you've won gambling and most you've lost in one go. So the last 3 days why I'm wearing fucking sunglasses is because haven't slept in the last 3 days at all because I've been gambling so much on stream. So over the first 2 days of it, I went down 40,000. Damn.
It was just fucking brutal. $40,000 in a 20-hour stream. And then yesterday morning, I turned the bet I hit was $20 into $20,000. So I didn't necessarily win because I guess we could say I won $20,000, but over the 3-day span, I still lost 20. But the most I've won in a session without getting fucked right before was a month ago. I won 30,000 in 2 days. So
nice. Biggest
loss 40, biggest win 30.
Damn. Do you happen to have an idea what your total net gain or loss is?
It's actually not. So this year, it's interesting because when you look at the house edge for most games gambling, if you gamble relatively responsibly, it's about -1 to 3% is the IV. This year I've placed about $2 million of bets, and I don't think I'm down too bad. I would say I'm plus or minus 50,000 and $2 million of bets this year. That's not horrible. I'll take it.
Damn. Plus or minus 50,000.
Yeah, I don't know. I could kind of add it up, but they don't tell you. The sneaky casinos aren't. They don't let you know. But the biggest loss it feels like I've ever taken was 2 weeks ago. I was in Vegas, and they got that fucking mini fridge in there, and it's like, well, these tasty snacks, whatever. It looks like it can't be that expensive. I spent $450 on waters.
What?
On waters, sodas. A shooter was $30 each, and a tiny bottle of Grey Goose, $450 for all of it. Each water was $25. So that hurt more than losing $40,000. When I got that receipt, I was about to blow a fucking fuse.
That's fucking foul. $25 for water. Jesus Christ. Nestor asks, are you planning eventually to try every anabolic known in your future cycles?
Any anabolic what?
Are you planning eventually to try every anabolic known in your future cycles?
No, I plan on trying no more steroids probably. I think I'm content with all the steroids I've tried. I can't...
Is there any that you missed?
What are some popular ones that I've not tried?
You done Deca and NPP?
Oh, yeah. My roommate, Nate Udi, loves NPP.
I kind of like NPP too.
He runs it like pretty much year round.
Damn.
Just on like a super low cruise. But I'm not really intrigued by it anymore. Like I've tried so many steroids. Well, not even. I've tried 9-10 different compounds. But it feels like I've experimented with them enough where I'm like, okay, you know what? All I want is testosterone, and like injectable Superdrol is also pretty dope.
Makes sense, yeah.
But other than those two, it's like, you know what? I don't really find anything else. Like, I gotta give it a go.
For all the super long-term bodybuilders that are in it for the long game, it seems NPP and Primo are like the good, nice, sustainable add-ons to testosterone. So
Primo was really
slow gain.
Did something to my fucking mental, because
that's crazy.
You've seen, people are usually pretty steady on Primo.
Primo's nice.
Primo, like when people see the gear edits of me, that's when I started doing the gear edits, and I looked like insane. I was really, that's how I was. I was like an insane motherfucker when I was taking Primo. And now I can't even make a gear edit anymore because I would have to like fake making the faces that I used to make and stuff. That's really how I was. But now I just like back to normal.
So the Primo made you like mentally?
Primo made me fucking so paranoid, made me want to kill everybody. Every girl I talked to, I was like, this bitch is fucking every dude.
How much Primo were you?
Only 400.
And how much test?
500.
And then how much of everything else?
I was doing injectable Superdrol, but Superdrol doesn't give me problems. I was doing anavar. A lot of anavar, like 100 milligrams of anavar for 15 weeks.
Damn.
So that fucked me up for sure. But that was it. It was supposed to be a light cycle, and I was
any AIs or anything?
Oh yeah, I was doing Aromacin.
Okay.
But my estrogen still was high. My nipples were itchy as shit.
What?
So and I was getting acne, so I know it's a fact that, and that's when my gyno got the worst. Like I didn't get gyno first cycle because my estrogen was a little low. This cycle, I can tell, like now I know like exactly, not exactly, but I have a good idea of where my estrogen's at. But at that time I was like kind of still trying to gauge it and shit. And I'm now looking back on it, I'm 100% sure it was like way too high just because of how itchy my nipples were.
But you never got it checked for the number?
I got it checked at the end of the cycle, and it was at the top of the range in reference. But I'm so sensitive to estrogen. For me, if I'm at, well, I forget what the exact number was, but I was in reference at the top of the range, and I was still like, you were getting crazy gyno, having all these high estrogenic side effects. So yeah, I don't know exactly what is perfect estrogen for me, but that was too much.
Fuck. Holy shit. Okay. I'm very curious why you felt that way, because that's pretty rare for Primo.
That's what everyone is saying. It's like, you should feel good, and I was like, dude,
like you don't think it's
I don't know what the fuck was wrong, but
you don't think it was like teetering up the dosage of anavar to 100?
Maybe that. I don't know.
I feel fucking weird on 25 milligrams of real anavar, bro.
I also got my blood work back, and my testosterone. Maybe my testosterone was overdosed because I was at like 3,500 nanograms, which is pretty high for 500 tests. Not crazy, but maybe it was the anavar that was fucking me up. And I don't think it was the Superdrol, because I felt pretty, when I added the Superdrol, nothing crazy changed. That was just the last 6 weeks. I felt fine. So maybe it was the anavar.
I bet it was 100 milligrams of anavar.
Yeah. All right, well, now we know. Primo's safe. The anavar.
It's fucking weird because everyone thinks anavar is so safe too, but
No,
It makes me a little
it's a
aggressive,
sneaky
man.
one.
Yeah, it's
sneaky one
sneaky,
for
bro.
sure.
It is. People actually say Primo is safer for women than anavar, especially when it comes to viralization, like turning into a man. So
Interesting.
Yeah. Number one is obviously Clen, because it's not even a steroid for them.
Yeah.
Then like Primo seems to come pretty close to next.
Interesting.
And then some people have suggested NPP, but I don't know about that. God damn, there's a fucking lot, dude. Oh shit. Should we ask this? Fuck. Fuck it. Anabolic Poppy asks, take responsibility. Does he
I've
take
heard this name before? Anabolic Poppy. It's somewhere in my comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does he say?
Okay. I think I know him because I met him in San Diego. So
Oh yeah.
he probably lives there still. Maybe he's going to come after you. No, he's a chill guy. He says, does he take responsibility for the followers he influences regardless if it's their decision?
No, not at all. Dude, there's things everywhere. Just because so say you got a crack addict under a bridge yelling at every person that walks by, crack is amazing. I love crack. I feel awesome. Take crack. Is it the crackhead's fault that you took fucking crack, or is it your fault because it's your body? So I take zero responsibility for what other people do, and everybody always wants to blame other people for their fucking problems. And that's another thing that changed my life is once I realized every single thing in my life is my problem and my fault. Take responsibility. Even some things that might be a little out of my control, it's like, all right, motherfucker, this is you. Then everything in my life got better. Before I used to bitch and moan and I can't believe this happened to me, can't believe that happened to me, I'm so unlucky, this motherfucker fucked me. I was miserable, and then I took responsibility for everything, and now I'm a very happy person.
Fucking don't play a victim. Don't be victimhood.
Exactly.
That strips you of all your power. And as a man, you shouldn't fucking be stripped of your power. So also I'm just gonna play devil's advocate, but I think that personally, everyone likes to blame, a lot of people like to blame other things and people for their problems, but I do think that if someone watched your YouTube video and they decided, like your YouTube videos, and then they decided to jump on gear, I feel like that's a lot more reasonable to say like it's fucking their responsibility. Like you saw what he's going through. He told you about all the shit. Like he informed you, and you see that he even has these little fucking clips of him like going through emotional, mental phases. So if you want to do that, then you can fucking do that shit. But when it comes to your TikToks though, I think that's what most people just see, so they assume. When it comes to your TikToks, bro, straight up, because those edits are cool, you look sick as fuck. So like I'm not surprised that there'll be kids that'll be like, oh man, I should fucking jump on gear so I look sick like this guy.
I talked about this exact thing on Brendan Clark's podcast. I stopped making those TikToks because it didn't feel quite right. That's not what I wanted to do. Like, I'm here to entertain, and now I get a lot, hundreds of DMs of people saying like, thank you so much for the content, this and that, I love you so much, whatever. When I was doing the gear edits, there was only DMs I would get are, where do I buy steroids? Where do I buy steroids? Where do I buy steroids? So that, I can admit, it was just fully the glorification of steroids, because there was no like, you got to take ezetimibe. But that's exactly why I stopped doing that. Originally was doing it to go viral, and then I realized that it was really not me to be putting out that kind of content.
Makes sense. Jesus Madrigal Jesus asks, what's his favorite cycle?
Oh, that's such a hard question. What's my favorite cycle? It's hard because the first one has a special place in my heart, because like we said, 40 pounds of muscle, and it's just like you go from regular guy to now a freak of nature. The second one has a special place in my heart because I went from normal guy to famous, and this one has a special place in my heart because I'm blasting 2.5 grams of gear. And EQ, Equipoise, makes me feel so good. It's nonstop. My brain is just going. I feel,
what kind of good? Like,
I just feel a little bit like I'm on cocaine all the time, when I am on cocaine quite frequently, but I wake up and it's like, let's get out of bed, let's go. I feel amazing. I feel ready to go. I feel confident. I feel like nothing can stop me. So EQ is my favorite steroid that I've ever taken. My favorite steroid cycle that I've ever done was my first one, just because the first cycle, that's when everything in my life changed from regular to freak.
Wow. Fucking that EQ ketamine combo.
It's different, bro.
How's your RBC and your blood cell count?
Oh, that's fucked. Okay, so here's the thing. I have microcytosis, so my red blood cell count or my red blood cells are too small. So before I hopped on steroids, it was 6'3", so I was already high. But it's okay because I need more blood to fill my body because they're smaller. But now I hopped on steroids, especially equipoise, and after even I was running TRT, it was crazy high at one point. It was either, I forget the number, it's on my phone somewhere, it was either 7.3 or 7.8, I forget. Then I donated blood, which reminds me I have to donate blood again tomorrow, and it dropped it down about 0.8, but my RBC's always been above like 6.5 when I'm on cycle.
Damn. Okay. Nice. I feel irritable on EQ for some reason. So
really,
I guess this just goes to show you guys everyone's different. So
yeah,
because one person likes Tren or one person doesn't like EQ or something doesn't mean whatever.
Yeah, and that's why you need a coach, because if you're just copying other people's cycles online, there's a very high chance you have an unpleasant experience.
Blake Nicholas asks, what's the absolute best and worst experience that you've had while blasting crazy combos of gear?
Best experience would probably, generally speaking, just getting, famous. That's been a cool experience. It was brought up a lot of wonderful opportunities. The more basic answer would be the first time I ever took anavar, the pump was like, holy shit, I can feel this good. Like, I can feel this pumped, even though anavar is nothing compared to like anadrol or superdrol, just the fact that it was so much stronger than creatine. And the worst experience I've had was when I crashed my estrogen and my dick stopped working. That's embarrassing when you're going to fuck a girl and you don't have enough estrogen to get horny. So
that fucking sucks, dude. I spent 3 years like with low estrogen. It was really dumb. I probably cut off
blood work, or
I did, but I was running a little bit too much primo and mass. Well, see, so I wanted to look lean, so I was running more of a combination of primo and mass than test, and I kept my test below 200 because I thought when I put my test up above 200 at the time, I would look a lot more watery for some reason.
Okay.
And I would just obviously connect that with maybe it's just estrogen, but like when I did get my blood work checked, my estrogen would be like crash, or sometimes it'd be like 14 or just bottom of the reference range, which is absolutely dog shit.
So I would feel so shit at that.
Yeah. That was just a learning experience for me. I didn't completely know what I was doing yet. That was early on, but
even if you have a coach, everyone at one point I feel like crashes their estrogen and gets it too high, because it's just such a tough balance to find your ratio.
Yeah.
So it's just, everyone's got to go through it.
Plus most coaches don't fucking tell you shit nor help you or even fucking do anything with your blood work, bro.
Really?
Yeah, most
Tanner's
coaches
been great ever since.
Tanner sounds like a good coach.
Yeah.
Most coaches, I mean, there's a lot of bodybuilding coaches that don't really care about your health. They'll just give you the cycle for the competition, and normally it's a crazy cycle because they want you to win.
I had no idea that's how coaching was. I thought it was always the same as like my experience with Tanner, like and everything. Like I text Tanner about things like, because everything, once you start taking steroids, your whole life is affected. So I text Tanner about like my personal issues, everything, because really every issue you have in your life, the root issue is, it could very likely be the steroids or something wrong with the cycle. So I thought that's how it always was. But I guess I'm blessed to have, I've always known I'm blessed to have Tanner, but even more so appreciative now. Yeah.
He sounds like a good ass coach. There's definitely good coaches out there, and I feel like there's been even better coaches now, especially because PEDs is more prevalent talk, and bodybuilding is just way more common now than it was like 5-6 years ago. But back in the day, people would just give you a fucking cycle because they want you to win.
Let it rip, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the questions I get on my Instagram are fucking insane.
They really are. Peter asks why bro is sacrificing his entire mental health. Punch walls, trap house, bedroom. I don't know.
My mental health is as good as it's ever been, my friends. I fucking love the grime. Well, I live in a nice house now, but I've always loved the grime of the frat house. You know,
feels like home.
When you fucking lose gambling, you got to punch a wall. It happens. But as far as my mental health goes, my whole life I've had decently good mental health, and as of lately, it's the best it's ever been. So I can't complain. I'm very blessed right now.
Yeah. Feels like home when there's sticky beer floors.
Exactly.
Luke Strong asks, what do you think about SARMs and which brand or product to start? God damn it.
Oh boy, yeah, no, I've never taken SARMs. All my friends have just been like, they're fucking stupid, don't take them. So I'm like, all right, I'll just jump to the real stuff.
Marvin asks, are you natural?
Yes, Marvin. Yes, I am.
These dirty asks, does he plan on dropping any powerlifting strength-based content?
Bro, guys, do you know how fucking weak I am? I am 230 pounds and I can barely bench 335 pounds. I've never squatted 4 plates in my life. I'm the weakest jacked guy I've ever met in my entire life. So no, absolutely not. I would be a fool if I ever tried.
I'm just saying, people should get their shit checked, because you never know, like maybe it's actually just fucking your genetics. I got my genetics checked, 23andMe, and then I put that raw data into Prometheus, found out all my fucking genetic predispositions. It was crazy. Some of the shit obviously scared me nuts, but
that's what I have my 23andMe thing, and I'm like kind of scared to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
But one of the things I found out that is I have this thing called impaired muscle performance. So basically I respond better to slow twitch fibers. Really? Rather than fast. So
you can find that out from this.
Yeah, you can find it out. It says, and the craziest thing is like my entire life, people are like 8 reps and like do this, and I would like try to build for strength too. Like I've been squatting 4 plates on squat for 8 reps for like 8 years, the same amount, and I could never grow. I tried to bench heavy and then I popped both of my shoulders with impingement because I kept trying to fucking lift heavy. I'm like looking at the Tren twins and they're fucking shorter than me and they've been lifting for probably as long and they're way stronger. They're so strong. And then I'm like, I'll do fucking 20 reps on legs or 15 reps on upper body and I'll feel like I'll get the better pump than anything else. And I feel like I make the most gains. And I'm like, why the fuck is this? Like, I feel like everyone's like wrong or something, or I'm just different. Got that shit checked. Explains it all.
That's fascinating. Well, now I know. I guess I'm definitely gonna give mine because that would level up your training by
for real, dude. My fucking legs. It seems that I like gained like 14 pounds this last year of bulking, and when I like pose, it looks like most of it's in my legs, and that's because like instead of doing squats for 8 reps every fucking time I did leg day, now I like go in there and I'll hit like machines for like 20 reps plus at least for the straight year. And
wow, this is great.
They blew up because
I only squat 6 to 10 reps. But if I just start banging out 15,
bro, do like 25 reps on your calves and shit. Like do fucking
don't wonder my legs are so small, motherfuckers. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Oh, that's actually really incredible to know that test you can test.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try that out.
It's fucking cool, bro. It's cool. And Erin Call asks, how do your parents respond to your content, steroid use, gambling, etc.?
Oh, well, my parents definitely don't like the cocaine. Not a huge fan of that. Drinking, not a huge fan of that because my family's never drank. The steroids, they're really not a fan of, but I've like gone over my blood work with them and be like, guys, like it's not a huge problem. I got off the phone with my mom today, and told her about how I did a 3-day gambling bender and shit. And they don't love it. They don't want me to participate in these activities, but I have such an amazing relationship with my parents in which, you know, I call them frequently, take them on vacations. We communicate very well. So they're supportive in everything I do. And they'll more jab at me more than anything. They'll jab at me. Like we'll be sitting at dinner and my mom will be like, damn, bro, like your face is getting so fat from all those steroids. And it just like she likes to jab at me because she doesn't condone it. But as far as our relationship goes, it's amazing. And they know that I'm doing what I love and I'm happy. And as long as I'm staying as healthy as I can while I do it, they support everything that I do. That's
fucking cool, bro. That's fucking awesome to hear. See, people have different values. Like my fucking parents like hear this shit and I'm a worthless piece of shit. So, whatever.
It's not funny. I'm sorry for laughing.
It is a little funny sometimes. Hunter Simpson asks, how do you have a trash diet and on gear but don't deal with hella side effects?
Well, I do. Like I said, guys, my cholesterol has gotten fucked before, and blood work doesn't show the full picture. You can get a good idea, but at the end of the day, nothing is free. And luckily, I don't get acne or a lot of the physical things, but there are consequences to what I'm eating.
Anthony Brownlifts asks, is Scarlex RD the most anabolic music right now?
He's a funk artist, I think. Yeah, he's a fire. A bunch. If you guys want to see my SoundCloud playlist, it is just Togi on SoundCloud, and the profile picture is like this blue guy.
Nice. Yeah, that fucking music goes hard, dude. Shit's dark. I was showing this chick, and she got really scared.
A funk?
I sent her. I just sent her some of your TikToks.
Oh my shit!
Some of your TikToks and shit. She fucking got really scared.
Yeah, a lot of people when they see like the edits, and mostly girls, find it terrifying. They meet me in person and they're like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're normal now, but on TikTok you look like a maniac.
I love it.
But girls also love that shit. Like, a guy that can be like a sweetheart to them and only them, but to the public is like crazy. Girls go crazy for that kind of thing. Yeah,
like what we were talking about earlier. A Brody asks, can he put a pocket pussy in between his legs and let me hit it from the back?
Oh my god. See, dude, the gay shit, it's like sometimes it used to be like a little bit funny, the gay shit. Why are you guys so gay? All of the comments, it's like, oh, oil up, this and that. And I blame fucking, who the fuck was that? Noel, like actually oiled up on camera. And now every comment is oil up. It's like, quit it with the gay shit, guys. In my Discord, the only rule is no gay shit.
You guys can be gay. You just
you can physically be gay.
Discord,
just not towards me.
Okay. What is some of these people obviously don't listen enough. Like, they're asking you about like, is Tren more fulfilling than gambling and all these things? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you don't like Tren that much.
Yeah, made it very clear.
Thomas Picken asks if he had to choose one, gambling, PEDs, or women.
Come on, how are you gonna ask me that? PEDs. We'll go PEDs.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
you're gonna choose gambling.
Women, honestly, I could go with that. Women just suck me dry of my energy. Gambling is a lot of fun, especially with your friends, but at the end of the day, it brings a significant amount of agony when it's not going your way. And PEDs, generally speaking, are a consistent, amazing time, whereas gambling and women can get shitty fast. And so can PEDs, but I've not experienced that yet. Like, I could literally die, which is like the ultimate shittiness, but we haven't experienced it yet.
It's different for everybody. I had one guy, Devin Bernardo, who said like he's only had great experiences. Even on Tren, he's only had positive mental experiences. So he's only like enjoyed it. And then I had another guy. I had several other guys, and like my best friend Nathan, who competed too. Absolute dog shit worst experiences on all gear. Just mentally tore them up.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, if I couldn't take steroids, I'd be so upset. I love this shit.
My boy Nathan, that I did like that big like podcast steroid video, got like 400K views, people just watching me talk about the steroids I took. That guy literally has a way better physique than me, way bigger legs, fucking crazy small waist, the best potential. Did his first show, won overall, and he quit because he was like, bro, I didn't get any sleep and I thought I was gonna kill myself.
Wow, that's unfortunate. But right? I mean, if that's the case, like if I felt like I was on Tren all the time, no matter, I could make $10 million a month, and if I had to feel like I was on Tren all the time, it wouldn't be worth it, just because how miserable I was the whole time.
Couple more. What's your opinion on permablasting by Mobra?
I think that's fucking stupid. I mean, I guess like theoretically, if you got your blood work and it was always fine, I guess go ahead and permablast, but that's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. After about the 20-week mark, things get pretty sketchy pretty fast. For me, at least. JT
Talabong asks, yes, been waiting for this. Ask him, where does he get his chains?
These are from David Yerman.
I Question Devin asks, have you ever been impressed by any natural bodybuilder physiques?
Yeah, Lex Little, when I was getting into bodybuilding, always was just like, this is what I want to look like. Lex Little. Eubanks has a good physique. He's a little bit small, but as far as the aesthetics go, it's amazing. So I would say the most impressed I've ever been would be Lex Little.
Lex has he's got a good physique. He I always, whenever I see him, whenever we talk, he feels taller in person, but it's just like he's just got that fucking tiny waist.
So fucking and
tiniest waist, bro.
It's
Crazy.
like his quads are bigger than his waist.
Yeah, big legs, tiny waist, always.
Yeah,
it's fucking sick. Yeah, all right, we're out of time. I got these last two questions. I ask everybody. One of them I only ask you. But if you could choose 2 PEDs and 2 ancillary medications you could take for the rest of your life, what would they be?
Telmisartan, because my blood pressure is just fucked. And honestly, something that's been really, I don't know if this counts. I think this counts, but RU58841 has been really good.
Oh, really?
Hair,
it actually helps you?
Yeah, it helps me a lot.
Oh, damn. That's nice.
And I care a decent amount about my hair.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say RU and Telmisartan. And as far as the PEDs I could take, it would be no doubt by far testosterone injectable Superdrol. That's all I would.
Not EQ?
No, EQ is great, but as far as the freaky look, oh, you know what? Actually, that's a good point. I do care about the mental. I was thinking more about the look, because testosterone's a must. You have to take testosterone or it's not going to work. So now I'm just debating, do I want to look good or do I want to feel good? Okay, yeah, you're right. EQ. Testosterone and EQ would be the combo I'd go with.
Cool. Sick. I'm actually surprised you feel that great on, or RU works that well on you. It's like, it was kind of like fucking mid for me. So
really?
I have to be on minoxidil and finasteride right now, but that shit helps for me personally.
Do you take finasteride topically or
topical for sure? Yeah, topical for both. Yeah, bro. Fucking, I'm so sad. Hair's going quick.
But
maybe I got some fuck RU.
You've made it pretty damn far. Like, if you make it just a couple more years, there's a good chance you have a full head of hair for the rest of your life. That's what they say. If you have your hair once you're 30, then you're good until you're like 70. It's like that between 20 and 30 is where it gets sketchy. So you're getting there, just a little bit longer.
I feel like that applies to people that aren't on gear.
That's true. Okay, that's also a very good point. And how much longer do you plan on blasting for?
Fucking 50 years.
50?
No.
It's like, oh shit, good luck and try.
Nah, I just want to compete. I want to get to Olympia. That's all I care about. So however long that takes.
Okay.
But I don't plan on it being too long because I know it's not a healthy sport. So this is a question I ask every guest, but if you were to die tomorrow and you had one message that you could send out to the entire world, what would it be?
Oh, easy. Don't try and impress anyone. Do everything for you. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks about you, as long as you can look in the mirror and see a man that you are happy with. That's all that matters, because the second you start taking other people's opinion into your mind, then you're no longer living life for you and participating in any activity because somebody else wants you to is guaranteed to be an unfulfilling activity. Even if it's your own parents, they care about you, they love you, but they don't know what's right for you, and you'll know what's right if it feels right. So only do shit that you enjoy and makes you happy.
Nice. Fuck yeah. Sick.
Right on.
Oh, last thing I was going to ask, I was curious. Do you take citrus bergamot and like astragalus root and any of that shit?
Do I what now? What? Take
like citrus bergamot and astragalus root?
I have never heard of any of those.
Really?
I know.
I'm actually surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised Tanner doesn't have you. If Tanner doesn't have you on him, take astragalus root, citrus bergamot, and Tudka, and then you could add NAC. It's not.
I take Tudka and NAC, so maybe it's in my liver blend.
Well, astragalus is more for kidneys, and then citrus bergamot's more for like your cholesterol levels.
Okay, so for cholesterol, I take COQ10, red yeast rice, niacin.
Those are helpful. Red yeast rice used to be like the staple for bodybuilders, but then they found out it wasn't as effective as citrus bergamot. Okay,
interesting. I'm sure the other stuff is in my kidney stack and liver stuff, but that specifically citrus bergamot. Yeah. I definitely don't take that, so I'll look into that one.
Nice. All right, cool. Word. Shameless plug, Huge Supplements. That's where I get mine from.
Word.
Where can everybody find you?
Well, what is my Instagram? Stoffer _ on Instagram. Shane Stoffer on YouTube. Shane.Stoffer on Snapchat. Shane Stoffer on Kick.
Nice.
Thanks for watching.
Wait, it's not Togi anymore, or was it? or ever?
No, it's never been Togi. I tried so hard, bro. I was DMing the guy who had Togi. I was DMing the guy's son that had Togi. I was DMing the guy's wife that had Togi, and none of them would respond.
Oh shit!
The dude he hasn't posted in 4 years. And I'm like,
What the fuck?
give me your fucking username, bro. But I think they're from Japan, so they just couldn't even understand my DM.
Oh,
I would
that's funny.
imagine. So it's a shame then.
Where did Togi even come from, and where do you even put that? Is that like in your?
Togi it's like on my name on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And then it's like my name, like my handle for YouTube is Shane Stoffer, but the name on YouTube's Togi.
Okay.
So I do the name for everything is Togi, but the username is usually like Shane Stoffer or something like that. And Togi is just my nickname from high school.
Okay, nice. So it has no relation to like, isn't that anime character Togi or something?
Yeah, it's
Right.
Togi or Toji.
Oh, Toji. Never mind.
And then
Never mind.
Togi is me. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Right on.
Togi guys, that was fucking sick. That was fun. That was way over time per usual.
Yeah, we fucking went at it for a while.
Yeah, so fucking follow this guy if you don't already. His YouTube videos are fucking hilarious, and I feel it. It's purely entertainment, and it's fucking sick. So,
Right
love
on.
you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you take this all with a grain of salt. And if you like to support the podcast, you can by rating us a 5-star on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you find a podcast, and subscribing to the YouTube channel and clicking the bell button because it's what gets us sick fucking guests like this guy. And yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Yeah, sick.